mentality. I mean, the heritage of this roster is being ahead and being ahead clean and not allowing an opponent to even get a look in.
Well, look, I mean, I called F4Q the kind of, I guess, princes of Korea, living slightly in the shadow of the Kings out in that region for now. But again, I look at G2 as the Lich Kings, the once undefeated, glorious side.
Untouchable.
Exactly, and then they had to reform, rebuild, and reignite the squad, and we are finally ready to get underway. G2 kicking off on their map choice, which will be ASCENT, popping themselves on the attacking side, and of course, on the other side, F4Q coming on the defensive side. Let's see what Bunny can bring. The man demands attention. I have to keep my eyes peeled towards his achievements here.
And straight away, actually, G2 going to be gifted a lot of space. At least the Boombot going to give away some information here of keloqz whereabouts. But there's only one player noted. F4Q going to hold strong right now with 3 players committed towards A. Actually ready for this crunch. The nade going to force him away there. Mixwell don't actually think got close enough to find the information there, but the alarm bot, on the other hand, will give away mid.
Okay, G2 testing the waters. Slowly but surely, they've held both extremities. They're not allowing defensive side information to trickle through without being potentially contested, but it does slow down the pace slightly. We're at 50 seconds now. Yeah,
and it's Condiments has been posted up here. He's been given nothing. Nothing has been shown, at least towards A main. Looks like G2 can try and swing all the way through here. Zumba to hold down from Dice initially. No information off that flash though, Lauren.
No, but here comes the hit, and already you can see keloqz is on side, back of the gen, already looking to do some work here. Bunny though, there he is! That's the Bunny just bounding on through that everyone wanted to see, but there is still a Vova, there is still keloqz. The two that we've also highlighted can be big game changers, but Bunny's on 10 HP. Wall in the way, he can't quite make it round past that. Vova, 24 HP, looking for that next maybe step forward. Spike to hand, 13 seconds. Spike going down. They have no idea there's all 3 heaven. Now they know. keloqz knows a whole lot more. He does get himself to safety, falls away, banks on the Vova to have his back. No more bullets to play with. Hits the reload, hits the shot. And now 1 more to go. It's G2 with the first.
Great recovery there, and keloqz actually, I mean, he has to be the one to bail Vova out there. That paint shell, I'm not sure if you just spotted there, Bunny throws a paint shell over Gen. It forces Vova back behind that door, brings him down so low. He cannot re-challenge before there's something in place to bail him out from there.
So let's, I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit here. Both of us, one, Bunny, nutty start, quite good at the game, who'd have thunk it. On the other side, keloqz with a belting beginning. That is huge for a player like him, right? Let's say a player that when he pops off, when he gets everything ready for him, he's insane, but you want to see that early shake off that land nerves, those jitters.
Pistol round 4K, big tick in the box for G2 right now. keloqz hopefully going to get that. It's going to be the wind in his sails and potentially carry that through to the next few rounds. F4Q going to throw a couple of sheriffs into this and scattered utility. Again, G2 slow in approach. Let's send out some feelers here. The turret actually going to spot out keloqz, at least initially. Spectre from this range, very difficult to deal with it, as you can see, but might even find the kill onto Athena. Nothing just yet, though. Spike does make its way towards B main, so I think they want to pile on the pressure here.
But I like that they're still being held top mid. They're still holding the push over towards A. They're trying to play actually pretty well-rounded VALORANT at the moment. And look, we've all criticized G2 in the past. Many a moons ago, different roster ago. Do they have that depth? We're still learning about this look of G2. This was a dream run to get them to this point. Surprised many. So we have to see how this looks. And I'm looking at F4Q. Where do they find that space? Right now, keloqz is feeling it. He's got that hot hand coming in now. Perfect time to keep building confidence.
That first player is not actually going to draw anybody away from A site. You can see it's 4 players here committed for F4Q. Mixwell will find Athena. Bunny now trying to get something done with the paint shells.
Comfy.
30 seconds left.
A bit of a desperation swing through the door there, and G2 just comfortably cleaning this one up. Esperanza has to respect the flash, but information given across. keloqz going to spot him out as well, as whether or not you can do any damage here. Actually, from range, still going to get the better of keloqz.
Yeah, and it's wait and see. I mean, G2 right now keeping it very clean. Exactly what the doctor ordered for them. F4Q, it's not the end of the world. You aren't looking to win that round, but you may be looking to do a little bit of economical damage. Maybe do what you can, cost them a weapon or a reinvestment. Do something to dissuade this confidence that we'll be building.
Hey, 4 SMGs carried across. keloqz one away from the Blade Storm. Perfect opportunity to get a bonus round going here for G2. Let's see if they do decide to make a play here. On the other side, actually, seeing Bunny
adjusting.
Yeah, a little bit of an adjustment. He's not quite settled just yet. And actually, it will be a full rifle come through. I don't know if we're going to see any madness with a judge coming.
I was waiting for it. I've been told. Look, we've had...
I've heard rumours.
Yeah, that rumour being paper thin telling us. He's like, okay, look out for this guy and what he does. Here's a couple of ideas. keloqz gets away actually unscathed, so not bad investment of utility so far.
Well, I like this as well. I think actually F4Q are reading exactly what we're talking about. They're challenging this orb, not necessarily so much on the B side, but here on A main at least. The paint shells, the gravity well invested, just to make it more difficult for keloqz to get his Blade Storm out. You see, and actually might even consider backing all the way off and picking up the orb on B.
I like this though, get a little bit of attention towards A, early contact, swing back in towards B, but there is utility here, so we have to see how this works out. Reyna towards back of Boathouse, you still have Athena waiting close by, and here we go, Seeker's going in, this will be burst, but let's see how that utility works. So far keloqz does get a little isolated, but that's fine, he seems happy to keep himself alive here. No one finding a challenge just yet, they are weathering the storms until now. There it is, keloqz finds the opener, backside 5k. Only the 1k for now, and G2 have swarmed it and actually have taken it quite comfortably.
Yeah, we'll get themselves one upgrade as well. It's actually, just as he picked up the Vandal there, Bunny going to find that one. So brings it to a 3v3 here. See if actually Bunny can get anything else done on the way in. No, Revover's going to shut down the first door, the second as well, Esperanza falls.
Zunba, you know where maybe one is, you can hazard a guess at the second. And there it is, shut out, shut down, that's a bonus, and it's even in G2's pocket. They could not be happier with how that round just went.
Yeah, a comfortable start. Again, going to keep three weapons through. And, a good opportunity here for G2 to pile on pressure and build up a bit of a deficit, if I'm honest. I mean, in F4Q's favour, but the problem being here, and again, what we've kind of discussed, first buy round out of the way now, at least for F4Q. The concern comes of how much G2 want to now start kind of exploited mid, because you leave that open, players like Avova and Nuki, they will just keep poke. They'll poke and prod for a couple of rounds. If they find that space, that's when G2 look to punish.
Well, we've been seeing a lot of the front line pay dividends for G2 right now. A lot of their entries have been extremely successful with keloqz, but it's that, let's talk about that next layer where it's like Nuki on that lurk, or whomever it may be. We have that kind of next stage that comes in, and it is a timeout coming in. And it will be, I mean, maybe good timing to discuss a couple of options, get your head back in the game. This, as much as I hate saying, because it sounds like nonsense, it is such a momentum, mental-based game, especially for some of these players who are very new to the environment, new to how this feels, new to what it's like playing against different regions especially. This is so many different variables here.
It is, and I mean, if you talk about indicators in that previous round, looking to get a little more proactive in terms of denying that orb. There was nothing to follow up, right? There was no pinch through mid. There was nothing else to greet maybe the weaker side of G2's default. So that's really where they can get away with murder, right? Yes, they get all this information from who's present on A, who's pressuring outside of A man. You've got to anticipate there's a third member at least towards tree. So right there, the setup, it's the biggest tell that G2 can receive.
Bunny to be maybe a difference maker here. We could do with, they just need something. They need to make a little bit of impact, I feel, even just for their own mental game right now, because it feels very clean, and keloqz, he's just untamable, even catching the observers out, and that's a rarity because we have the likes of Yeti, Sapphire, and Prius, the God Squad coming out. If you know, you know. For now, though, we look at what really they have to work with here. Again, Bunny not given many chances, that early look, but instantly Aldrone comes out. It's never easy. There's nothing gifted. There's no mistakes being made by G2 right now.
You see, actually, F4Q going to send a couple more bodies towards A. Full Killjoy set up here in terms of utility as well. Lambot is going to be set up in front of Bunny, but again, last time, G2 were able to creep up, pretty much got into A main for free, and it's looking like another pretty late hit in the round. Again, it wasn't comfortable in terms of on the way in, but one thing we've talked about with G2 is how rocky things have been in the post plant for them, on ASCENT in particular.
I get nervous with anti-ecos running late in the round. Exactly. I understand why you do it to cross all the markers off, and so far it's fine. None of those issues came through in the end. You know, Bunny could have become a factor, and maybe, you know, the tags coming in between the sheriffs and the marshal, but it wasn't to be. For now, this is okay. Nuki, let's see if you get timed. He's fine. Nuki's golden. And yeah, we're down to just Esperanza now. And again, look at this. Look at the discipline from G2. No one's giving them free chances. That's a banger of a shot, but it's instantly shut down. Again, 4 alive, 4 on the board. G2, we need to see, let's put G2 aside. I need to see an answer from F4Q now. Yeah,
we do. And actually, just coming back to the anti-eco rounds, you know, those kind of post-plant holds that actually were G2's weakness in their last appearance versus Gambit. I mean,
game.
How many times did we... I think it was six in total. Just crazy to see. So right here, just them taking that breather between, you know, the 60 and 30-second remaining time on that round, just to really, really feel comfortable about the direction they're going, who's where, and actually getting full control of that site.
And we go again. No ops coming out. Ult-wise, 5k. On the other side, I guess a Vova progression coming back around for Mixwell. He's loving this. And patience being shown by G2. We did see that aggression towards A in the prior buy round, so it does look like that mid attention now is being toyed with G2. And we can see a little bit of a fight on the extremity this time. First time we're seeing 5k kind of lean out a little bit for it here as well. Bunny, similar scenes, but that one's worked perfectly for him. Happy to find a Vova. That will now force G2's hand slightly.
Yeah, I'm loving this. Actually, the first time we've really seen an adjustment from F4Q, and Bunny looking to get pretty proactive solo as well. He's got nobody out there. He's finding a 1v1, and I think that's actually the information that G2 have given him a couple of rounds now. That's maybe a weak spot. Actually, he's got to be careful here. Showstopper available, but not necessarily wanting to invest that just yet.
Look how little control they've got. No one by tree, no one on short. This is just suffocating towards that A site right now.
Yeah, there's almost no get out of jail free card here, and actually going to get revealed as well. Zumba. You find Nuki on the way in. We'll find another one as well. The showstopper gets popped. Goes through, no damage done, but it's just Kellogg's and Coldamenta now.
If Coldamenta get enough attention, be enough of a problem, he can't be Bunny's founding. This is brilliant work, but Kellogg's, how big can you go? Not enough this round, and finally there's the answer they were looking for. It's huge for them as well. Imperative. That aggression on the extremities paid off. That is exactly what they needed. Bunny going for it, 5k going for it, and they were rewarded.
And actually on both sides here, I feel like actually this is a round where G2, the first time they've actually actively pushed through mid a little bit. They figured out the killjoy utility, and then actually they're like, well, potentially we're going to bait a little bit of a rotation here, and it's the complete opposite. F4Q holds strong, Bunny finds a kill, and G2 still try to lean that direction.
And it's not just the Bunny show right now. Zunba's bailout on Dice then, the 2 that he picked up, was a difference maker. Bear in mind, Bunny was low HP, they had completely had tree open. That could have been something different, but for now, Bunny jump spotting out towards kind of mid, has a little bit of a looks, falls away from it, but once again, trying to show a little bit of strength over towards the B halls, pushing up here, but G2 this time committing further towards mid, and it looks like Kellogg's wants to go deeper on this one this time.
Indeed, as he's going to get all the way through market here. Actually, Athena going to get spotted out. A little bit of a miscalculation there with a dash, but it come through. G2 actually find a 2-for-1 on the way in.
Esperanza's on an island, and he's just been drowned off it. Mixwell finds him for free almost here, as Bunny is just late to the party. Where's Zunba in this as well? He's deep in towards CT. This was lost by the timing that came out. You saw the Kellogg's just pushed and pushed and pushed, just almost jumping the gap, and as I said, Esperanza had no time to do anything.
This is another round where, you know, those previous fact finders where G2 have pushed it forward a little bit further and further each round now, and now they're ready to just catch F4Q completely off guard. Bunny now 30 HP, last one standing, and again, all the success from that previous round now effectively written off.
I think, again, you talk momentum-wise, great work there. Kellogg's cleans it up. We talk about the kind of mind games and momentum and kind of, you know, the kind of pendulum swing, right? It's like, well, okay, we've been doing this, they're going to expect us to do this, we'll counter that, the back and forth, and finally, we had F4Q do really well at that. Good adjustments, good read, well handled. We saw it, as said, the round that they picked up. However, instant response from G2. It wasn't like, well, we'll let you build off that. We'll let you get maybe a little bit of momentum, control, anything. No, we're right back into it, straight back on that. And I want to look at the money. That's got to be pretty tight now for F4Q.
Yeah, I'm seeing a judge back on Bunny here. Actually, elsewhere, Athena actually just got a sheriff, so a bit of a scrappy investment at least. Not sure what's left in the tank outside of this. Hunter's Fury available for them. Athena one away from the lockdown as well. See how G2 approach this, because this is the first time they've not really shown anything towards B main.
Oh,
actually, Bunny gets caught there over actually with the pinch.
Yeah, look at the pacing and the pressure coming out from G2 here. This is still great. Zumba's been found, so they know the Dice is clear. 5k is not too far away, but there's still Kellogg's to keep him locked in. There's no easy way back through. Hunter's Fury gonna come out. Does it do much? Kellogg's in the meantime trying to get some pressure. Great flash in. Mixwell does him dirty. 5k had no chance. And there's that combo, that 1-2 punch we want to see build between them and Esperanza. Couldn't do much about it. G2 with lovely pacing there as well. Almost went, okay, let's hit the brakes, try and get that spike plant. Let's try and build off that. Okay, Hunter's Fury comes in. Let's just take a second. No rush. No need to overdo things. Very well handled again.
Again, look at this. Bunny's under so much pressure here, and the timing is perfect. You've already said this. The spacing on this hit to get through and find all this pressure and capitalize on it as well. And I gotta say, for me, being the biggest concern, Kellogg's coming into this, the man's 11-3 right now. He is running away with a couple of these rounds, finding entries and also punishing F4Q when they're out of position, right? When G2 can isolate a player, Kellogg's is the one to close that gap.
Go again. Has to have full faith that Mixwell's setting him into motion too when it's time to go, and he has been. And now, starting to work through. There's that close flash, gets no one. Looking towards stairs, double stacked up, and they have a little bit of potential. 3 players there. That's a rifle he'd love to have. Nuki, death from above. Oh, it's clean. Oh, it's very clean for G2. This is spin on, boys.
They're starting to coast now a little bit, and that's that's concerning. Again, that round, bit of a throwaway from F4Q. We know that the previous were a little scrappy investment, 3 rifles and 2 lessers. We'll leave it at that, but this is where you start getting concerned, honestly. If G2 start then getting, you know, that cocky side of this team comes through and they...
Let them have it, Alan.
Yeah.
Tame him when you need to. But let's also talk then context-wise. For F4Q, how did this map sit for them? Was this high up in their played pool? Was this something that was... you know, we know this is a G2 choice here. So, again, for me, how much were they depending... Excuse me? I did not know we were hitting the Xantares peaks, the Ferrari peaks already this early, but back up we go. You're going to have a whole lot of ults rolling around that G2 side, so they'll be fine to at least get that res back up here. But first blood finally drawn for F4Q.
Yeah, and straight away ripped away from them. Nuki will get Kellogg's back on his feet. We'll be careful here, though. I see the paint shell combo not lining up. No damage done whatsoever here. Again, utility being invested and not an awful lot garnered on the back of it. Again, Avova present in mid. And what I want to see F4Q start doing is exploring a little bit of B main pressure, to be honest with you. So coming out, capitalizing on the fact that G2 are kind of prioritizing towards mid and short. I'll say that Athena will actually find Kellogg once again, so his second death on the round here. Got to be careful if Nuki pushes up on the wall. He will actually find, well, actually Nuki finds 2 there, Athena and 5K.
And now we end up in this 3v2. Bunny and Zumba trying to work through that was a little hap-handed. You're not going to get away with it. Nuki still watching. Eyes trained. Spike to be planted. No contest in sight as Zumba. Well, you're in CT now. The post plant is so difficult here. You have 0 clue. And now finally, you can start stepping forward.
I mean, at this point, what's even the value of finding some kills here? Go for the round in my eyes. There's absolutely nothing lost here if they're back on a save round. Once again, with this round deficit. Again, take a weapon away, sure. I think somebody did actually just get a call, potentially, for one of his teammates. Like, oh, you saw him there when you crossed, by the way.
Who doesn't love those calls? And yeah, this is... I mean, economic damage is great when you're not 7-1 down. Make it 8-1. Coldamentus found it. And yeah, I said, looking through the history leading into this of at least ASCENT and the performance we'd seen out of F4Q, this wasn't a map that they didn't like, this wasn't a map they didn't play, it was actually a pretty decent map. Yes, they lost to Vision Strikers, but outside of that, did relatively well. So, I mean, this isn't one that's super low in their priority list, which makes me worry slightly bigger picture, or this just says, okay, well, G2 are actually nuts. You know, it's kind of finding out where teams are here. Well,
I think coming into this, there's more questions around G2, especially regionally, with where we've seen kind of their performance fluctuate a little bit. I keep coming back to that Gambit series because it was the one that stood out.
Yep.
Again, that being Gambit on the other side of it is how much you want to read into that one. We'll have to decide. But again, G2 slow in approach here. And F4Q once again just willing to give up this early territory to G2. They're going to push on through. Yes, Athena has the lockdown, but to get on a round like this, 4 Sheriffs, 5K had the Vandal. What's the value here of even really playing retake? To expect a challenge to come through, at least on contact through main there.
He's all playing towards the stairs. Got a nice little crossfire in place as well with Kellogg's. Needs to be something. Now 1 rifle on 5K. Find the value, find something. The flash towards CT, the late round aggression. Mixwell's just making it hurt. He'll take that on the chin, no worries. Bunny will at least tame some of the aggression, but look at this. This is brutality at its finest. They are just completely unchained right now. It's just 0 care to it. Look at it. They're like, okay, we'll expect the first and the second aggression, but maybe the third. Out of Kellogg's, and we're looking at double digits now almost. This is a nasty game for F4Q.
a tough one to be the opener. Kellogg's now 16-5.
Yeah.
I mean,
huge performance.
I said earlier it was a tick in the box. This is. I mean, you can throw the checklist out the window at this point. That for me is the best possible scenario for G2 coming out in their opening series here. F4Q actually going to call attack timeout again. At this point, I mean, you start to think about just shaking this map off. I mean, what can you really achieve towards the end of this? The halftime's not really going to, benefit them an awful lot in terms of a pace change, because it relies them stringing together an insane amount of rounds to even make this realistic.
Yeah, and we talk about realistic. I mean, we could sell you the lovely concept of, if they just put their minds to it. The chance they come back is going to take a monumental climb. And the second we see an indicator, we will tell you about it. We'll latch onto it like there's no tomorrow. But right now, G2's performance, I've got to say, is outclassing this. And maybe it's map. Maybe it's just the opener. Maybe it's that confidence. Maybe it's Kellogg's. Maybe it's all the things, all the stars aligned here. Now, it doesn't say that on map 2, it's going to be the same thing. That would be Bind, which is F4Q's choice. So that does change things a little bit.
And I guess in terms of comfort zones, yes, we could say that probably does lean a little stronger in terms of F4Q.
Yes.
But again, G2, they've showed up on Bind a few times. Yes, we could say the same thing. They've lost a few games, but I think Bind in particular is one where they've been a lot more stubborn about their composition, stuck to it. There's not been this kind of, willingness to just try something one-off, whether it be in the playoffs or in the final stages
randoms,
of challenges. But we'll have to wait and see, because we're still here, round 11 now on ASCENT. Again, Bunny's got an operator now.
Okay.
So are we going to see it?
Cannon.
Looking as if we're going to see them challenge mid at least a little bit. It's almost 6 rounds too late for me, but let's see how they get on.
All right, he's got no armor, glass cannon, he's dead. Kellogg's does not get it. The lovely part of this is just click heads. So simple. And look at that, he finds another. Easy stuff for the man on the screen. He is feeling this. The game is all working for him. Every peak, everything he does is lining up, and there's nothing to stop him. Seeker's now going again, being facilitated by Mixwell. Leans on forward. The timing couldn't quite find it there. A little bit of a fumble on it towards Athena, who does hold tree for now.
Coleman to one away from the Hunter's Fury. Again, I think Athena's in one of those spots where we're expecting him maybe to lean back on that lockdown. But the orb available, Coleman will retrieve it, and that basically strips that away from F4Q. Mixwell actually still holding pretty close on tree here. I don't think Athena's going to be expecting that at all. Actually, look at this.
Flash.
The gravity was perfect. Mixwell with the flash. Beautiful little set piece there to dig him out. And again, expecting that, anticipating they're going to look to hold on to tree with that lockdown, because it's their only hope of fighting back in here.
Oh, the flash again. He knows there's another. 5K is in so much trouble. Mixwell is just putting him through the ringer. Zumba is not happy. He's got about 3 different angles to worry about. Luckily for him, he's actually cracked. So he's found 2 already by tree. Sadly, the rest are just out of reach. And G2 are just flexing now.
Yeah, I said coasting, now it's flexing.
Yeah, the worst thing is, I can only imagine the Twitter state after this. I mean, you've obviously they've got the Sentinels folder ready, whether they win or lose that matchup, but that's already been pretty spot on. So I'm quite excited to see how they're feeling after the
Carlos
first
somewhere
half.
is just grinning ear to ear right now.
I mean, this is their town. This is G2's town. You see it all over. They've got the posters out. They've been out there doing everything to try and claim this is theirs, and the boys in the server are fighting somewhat the same. 10-1 though, half now looming. F4Q still finding desperation is the name of the game here, and not finding much for it.
And one thing, again, we did talk about kind of the support tools in place for Kellogg's previously. This match, for me, I mean, especially in terms of opening duels, he's been finding them himself, honestly. Bunny actually with a double satchel out will find Nuking on the other side. Again, that's what we expect from him, where he really shines on that raise, is those double blast packs out to get aggressive and take one away. But again, at this point, I think G2 happy to escape with just giving 1 kill away there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think that's one of those you're like, fair enough, we take that. And here we go, Kellogg's again, just trying to follow up off the back. But it's actually Coldamenta who claims he was so ready if he needed to be. Avova still controlling towards the other side. Is being closed in on.
Yeah, Zumba's actually creeping out there behind him. Mixwell will catch an audio IQ in mid as well. You see there, Avova did get caught off guard.
Uh-oh.
Well, yeah, a freebie.
Uh-oh.
And a second.
Oh, someone please, someone please. I don't know. Is my copium rising here for the Sentinels game? I don't know.
30 seconds.
I can't believe you'd.
The hopium is high.
That.
Yeah, I mean, 5K is blind in this scenario, as Bunny is your last player standing in the half here, and it's Mixwell to find it. A truly beautiful game we've just witnessed. I don't know how else to phrase this one. So, yeah, I'm a little blown away here.
Yeah, I mean, actually, a quick in and out. To be honest with you, this was, again, something I was expecting G2 to want to come out and put on this sort of display, because I think it plays to their strengths, it plays to their confidence factor. And right here, I mean, like I said, we've gone through the motions, coasting, flexing.
It's all happening. And, well, look, speaking of hopium and copium, we've got to head over to Sean, who will be breaking down some beautiful looks from that first half.
Thank you so much, Lauren. And yeah, I agree, Hypoc. This one is going to be quick. G2 are going in and out of this server. And I'm going to show you why. This is the third round, the bonus round. And typically, this round goes heavily in the favor of the opponents. But I'm going to show you how G2 spread out across the map to steal this round away. So at first, what we're going to see is the Sage and Kellogg's taking control of A main. The Sage is going to throw a slow off of the wall. That's going to allow Kellogg's to then make his way up into that corner over there. And his goal is just to create a presence. Just let these people in A main know we are fighting for this, try to get some utility out of them, and win the early round utility battle. But I also want to draw attention early round to the players outside B. This is clearly not an A strat. The spike is still deep outside B. You see Mixwell using his Trailblazer to clear out B main, and he's doing the same thing over there. Meanwhile, the Sova's holding top mid. In CS, this is called actually a default. So this is the perfect example of a default. So let's run the clip now. So you can see here's A main. Bunny's jump spotting with those paint shells, and the second the gravity well is activated, he uses it. Kellogg's has to use his dash to get away. And he's actually saving here because he wants to get that orb for the Blade Storm. So he realizes he can't get it, but they have made F4Q use so much utility at this A main. So they're gonna run all the way back spawn here to B, and that's when they regroup, and Kellogg's is actually going to get this orb now in B main, and that is when the strat actually executes on the B site. And you can see they have done such a good job of spreading out F4Q. There's 3 people still on the A site, but this is a B hit. This is a B hit. He pops the Blade Storm. Mixwell has the Seekers already on the bonus. Kellogg's using his updraft to clear the site, goes into a smoke, smokes the turret. You can see Mixwell actually flashing lane. The Seeker told Kellogg exactly where Efina was, and literally the round is already over. This is just such a good job of spreading the map, pushing and pulling rotations, hitting the weak bomb site, and using utility perfectly. This is something that I'm not used to seeing G2 do typically, so they have brought an extra level to their game today, and I don't know what F4Q is going to do to bring this map back in their favor. Panpoc, tell me what they need to do.
Oh, you think if you don't know, Sean, the most, you know...
Throw it to me, yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
right?
Come on, Hypoc, theorize, figure it out. No, look, honestly, a brilliant little look there. As said, some of the really big key indicators that really stood out to us, that, again, it's great to see that broken down piece by piece.
I love the fact that Sean's picked up on the fact this isn't something we see G2 typically do, and I think actually to mitigate a player like Bunny, when you know that that's going to be kind of the spearhead of the game plan for a 4Q, play a little deeper, play a little slower, and we talked about that in a number of rounds where actually you'd expect Kellogg's to be coming out W key held as soon as the barrier drops. And look at it, the risk management has played off so well for them in some of these rounds.
And again, this is just, we're looking to see who G2 are these days. This rebuilt roster, this reformation of who they were, we don't quite know it. Oh, Kellogg's is feeling a little fruity.
I wonder why.
Go on then.
Why?
Go on then. Let's have a round. He's walking mid. Kellogg's is walking mid. He's actually been jump spotted. This start already has just brought me deep joy. And I want to just look at F4Q. They've just seen that, okay, well, we've got a really confident Jet up against us who's happy to take fights here. Esperanza definitely caught enough of a glimpse of that. Now we have to see where they take themselves. Is it this A lane? It looks very likely. Yeah,
this is interesting because there's actually a gap created here. The Owl Drone going to come through, and I think actually on the back of the sound queue, you can see some utility invested now towards Dawn. Bunny happy to go all the way through to Gen.
Yeah, even, like, I don't think the observers could keep up with that. Bunny was so quick. He's backside, they've taken the space, and maybe that contact on short was enough of an indicator for them to say, screw it, let's get on the site, boys. And now we're in a 5v5 post plant. They've done what they needed. They got on the site, but now they need to hold it. The retake is on the way.
I'm seeing The recon available here. Kellogg still with his dash and that Sheriff, and actually he's going to come through, try and bait a little bit of contact, but Esperanza gets the better of him. 5K will double down as well. And look at this, all the kills going to F4Q.
Who needs a Sheriff when you get a classic? It makes perfect sense. 2 now left, Mixwell and Avova to try and do something about this, but we wanted an answer, we wanted a statement, and we might just have it. Mixwell, can you do any damage, or will they be 5 alive? First round of 4. Nice little pop flash, and there it is. Flawless beginning. A prime gaming flawless beginning, should I say, for F4Q, and a very desperately needed one here.
I mean, flawless being the word that this half needs to be for F4Q. But yeah, great pistol on the board. Let's see you follow up on that now. Again, I love the approach, and you're absolutely right, actually, in terms of 5K to get so much value off that recon ball. That's ridiculous.
Nasty. Oh, he's even got the free little upgrade. You love to see it. You love to see it. Okay, but okay, we were genuinely, normally, when we talk about comebacks, we talk about it when teams reach like 8 and up, right? Like, and that's even, yeah, I do normally play double digits, but I'm being nice to the, you know, newer audience members. But yeah, this is going to be a long road back, and it does indeed have to be flawless, and they have to somehow navigate around Kellogg's having a pop-off round. Something good happening for X, Y, and Z, which is very hard to do because it's not just on you. It's not just you trying to determine this. So we'll have to see how this now goes.
Well, initially here, at least, yes, and I know, look at the weaponry here that G2 have, but the fact that F4Q are kind of sat back thinking, are they going to show us anything? And G2 are happy not to. See here, they're going to send 2 extra bodies towards B site. Just be Avova to hold down A at least, and F4Q are leaning that way. They're about to walk into a stack. Only 2 Sheriffs.
Okay.
Actually, now G2, look at this. I
Oh,
think
the
it's completely
timing,
misread
the
this. The Owl drone has baited this entire rotation, Lauren.
That's actually sick. MVP Owl drone.
F4Q are coming back.
No.
The Owl drone didn't spot anything, so they're going back.
It's the worst double pump we've ever seen. Oh, no, but maybe G2 go. Maybe they go. They're like, no one's coming. No one's coming.
30 seconds left.
Well, this is, we were talking about this earlier, right? At this point now, 1 kill can change the entire course of the outcome.
So they've only seen Sova so far. Now they know there's at least one more. Here comes the utility. Avova just leans through that smoke just a touch, and he's actually going to find one. He is truly just, you know, the assassin from the mist normally if you see him on an Omen. But look at Avova again. Look at this timing. Look at what he could do with this. Maybe rejoining the boys. Finds Core. A little bit of damage on the feeder. This is still damage now. Spike is planted. It's a 2v2. How the hell have we got here? Nuki and Avova gets back around, gets the heal off of Nuki. That's huge. He's back up to functioning level. We still have a rifle on deck for 5K. This should not be a problem, but it truly is. Zumba's attention is purely drawn towards heaven. 5K finds Nuki. That's now threat 1 gone, and there it is. Dealt with in the end, but we were all starting to sweat bullets in that moment.
Again, unfortunately, I mean, Nuki has to challenge 5K on short there. He has to try and retrieve a weapon to almost swing that back in their favor, but that's exactly what we're talking about in the first half, right? With these late hits, yes, it's against pistols, but where's the last place you want to fight against classics, right? When you're all bunched up, you have to play these close contacts and swing out from door, out of the smoke. It's so difficult to deal with, and 1 kill can change that, right? The spike's planted with 8 seconds left.
Yep.
It's just so awkward to watch. Luckily, they get away with that one, and Bunny on a judge, but rifles across the board elsewhere. But that's difficult now for round 3, right? Because it's reinvestment. We talk about obviously building momentum in terms of the economy. That's not what you want to see.
No. I mean, that round I feel is going to be clipped. The Owl drone, the double pump, the double rotation, somehow being on the right side, almost getting down to I don't want to say a feasible 1v2. There's still a lot to play through there, but jeez.
That's when I wish we just have a listen in from around like that. It's like, right, go 8. Now everyone go B. Oh, there's an Owl drone 8. Everyone go back to 8.
Yep.
At least, you know, well managed by F4Q, and yes, ultimately G2 are able to get bodies back in place. I mean, at that point, like I said, 30 seconds left. You might as well gamble stack one way or the other. There's no point trying to react off anything in those last 30 seconds, because I think F4Q's hand is forced in that scenario. There's no real recovery if they don't opt to end up on A there. I think through this timeout again, just going to maybe reassess the situation, but. How far do we see G2 push out now? That's what I want to see coming into this round in particular. By round here, Kellogg's nowhere near the Blade Storms. Obviously, nothing really to rely on in the next round.
Okay.
And again, I know you were pointing out there, 4Q's economy, worrying.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to be stretched
Look at this lean, though.
as much as they can be. A pretty even purchase coming out, really, between the two teams. But Bunny going to do it again. Look at this damage, but it's not a kill. Avova catches in midair, swats him down. Mixwell has to fall off this angle just a touch. Avova's in danger as well, but the timing works out so well for him. Only for the one in the end. I thought Mixwell could have done a little bit more with that, but so far the site's somewhat controlled by F4Q.
Kellogg's is here so early, though. Look at this information he's going to gather. Nobody in A main. He's got plenty of time to clear out wine, and look at his teammates. They can sit back, sit comfortable here, wait for this. Kellogg's actually takes a swing, tries to find the kill, and Esperanza's going to punish him.
There's no trade. There's nothing off the back of that. That was a little individual for my taste, and that's a big round for F4Q. They needed that.
How the hell did 5K just find that kill? Because there was nothing in terms of information that came out there. It was just a straight wall bang.
Yep.
Okay.
Must be nice. I mean, the timing on a lot of this. Let's have a look. I mean...
Well, I mean, at least getting a little noise out of them. It was quiet in the first half. I think that's fair to say. But again, the fact that G2 are able to get Kellogg's into a position, he's able to relay that information that there's no kind of top-mid control. It's more than likely looking like an all-in piece. And actually, having said that, look at G2 now, all the way out through B main. Early information here from Kellogg's. The turret going to give away this push, and F4Q now going to scramble to try and capitalize on this push from G2, get themselves onto A side. At least Bunny going to lead the charge once again. Up close and personal, actually misses the jump into heaven, but site control at least heavily in the hands of F4Q.
Great flash, great flash. Ooh, Athena, so well done to maintain as Mixwell is trying to push through. We do have two on the flank, keep in mind. This time there is a player towards Wine, though, big adjustment on that. Now looking at this one, G2 are here, Sheriffs, sure, a little bit of armor as well. It's not a completely toothless purchase. Esperanza very aware of this potential flank coming in, working off the back with Zumba, trying to swing out together. Well controlled towards one. Coldamenta actually going to get away with it. And Zumba and Bunny controlling what remains, sweating out the final player. There it is, 4 alive, only 1 rifle lost, and no big, I guess, victories there to report for G2.
Yeah, and I love the kind of addressing an issue in the previous round, tucking one into Wine, just saying, actually last round, very quickly they're up mid, very quickly they're behind us. And again, Mixwell's actually so unfortunate not to find that one, but immediately there's the adjustment here from F4Q, and it's gathering this information as they go along. Again, talking about building back into a comeback, it's things like that actually, those small mistakes being addressed on the fly, is really good to see from them.
Talk about the ebb and flow of how this game goes. This is another big round coming in because you've got the buy coming out of the op coming through for Kellogg's. This is huge. If F4Q can do something with this, it's game back on, and here we go. Ult comes online, and Esperanza finding Mixwell somewhat for free, it feels like, but Nuki's found Bunny this time, who's been bounding towards the back of sight so freely. Now, Kellogg's still here. You do have the Astra divide coming through as well. Is that... Yeah, both sides actually just absolutely going for it. Now, we do actually have, what, 4v3. So the first time we're seeing, really, F4Q with a deficit against a dangerous round.
And Bunny immediately, I mean, you can see every single time he's going for that double satchel to close the distance, play with a judge, and just get up close and personal, but it's not worked out for him twice now. See, is F4Q anticipating a little more aggression from G2.
You should run.
Fina throw the lockdown. He actually has the spike as well, so whether or not he's going to try and slip into A main as Esperanza and Zumba here. Might try and pinch on the back of this lockdown, but both members of G2 here committed, Nuki and Kellogg's. They can sit for free.
Yeah, but I want to see how much room they get towards tree and how far they can pressure that, because then suddenly heaven becomes a bit of an issue. For now, the timing's off. Athena gets found comfortably. There's the trade eventually from site for Esperanza, but that's only Nuki. That's only part of the problem. There's still 2 other players lingering around, and they know where the spike just was, and that's such an uncomfortable position. Zumba with the perfect play up from tree. That's what I was saying, that heaven can become hell as soon as tree gets lost, but time now. 10 seconds, and now the pendulum swings of over. What have you got for us here? Doesn't quite get what he wants. Spike is down. He can't quite keep them tamed towards the site. He does get Esperanza, and now Zumba against Avova. And Zumba's not playing this passively at all. He is looking for this, just slips away, and Avova chases him down. And G2 are going to make it to 12.
Zumba almost caught in no man's land, though. He's nothing to fall back to, but
where do I go?
Doesn't take the peak. That's the weirdest thing. In that scenario, I feel as if he just doesn't have another option. Just take the fight. Yes, it feels uneasy, but it takes him so long to walk behind something there that it's lost as soon as Avova gets up close.
100%. You know he's got that internal clock ticking away, knowing exactly the opportunities. And Avova, ooh, crouch key stuck on Lamb.
Good. Tech pause. I don't know if we've got the keyboard issue down there. It was a repeated crouch. We'll have to wait and see an official decision on that. But yeah, Avova, man.
That's the Avova you want to see, though.
I'm used to seeing that in the
webcams on,
cam,
yeah, absolutely.
About 10 FPS.
I mean, I think he's one of those players that if he gets fired up, it's not normally on the Astro we see. I'd say Omen, you get to see a little bit more of that when he's a bit more instrumental to this. But again, coming into this one now, Op was recovered, and once again it's gone down. Bunny with a new look this time, gonna at least find Kellogg's, but it is G2 getting aggressive elsewhere. Zumba, has he been tested like this before?
Coldamenta revealed at least, and F4Q looking to pile on the pressure. Coldamenta will actually find 5k. Esperanza will find the headshot in response. Over now, though. The push through. Mixwell will get the Seekers online from this orb being retrieved, and actually, going to give all this information away, Lauren.
Found one.
Will they find the spike hit? Oh no, Mixwell reconsidering. I think he was looking to push back on the end of those Seekers, but at least now with the information, look, he can get Coldamenta back on his feet.
Okay.
I have the spike.
Still hope here. There's still 3 players and a little bit of room to play with.
Revealing area.
Now, Mixwell just looking for any pixel that might appear, and they are on the way. Mixwell is about to potentially greet at least bare minimum 2. Has both flashes still to play. There it is. That's enough of an indicator for him to call for
Info.
a little bit of support. Here comes Bunny. Can at least get a little further forward, but it's the cross, and it's a problem of over-sitting deeper here. Esperanza, great trade. Mixwell pop flash, gets him on the cross. Mixwell's been having a blinding, blistering performance, but it's on Athena to try and save F4Q. And look at him playing the time. He doesn't even overstep. The man so experienced. And now 3 players coming back in from short. It looks like it's G2's moment, and it is Nookie to claim the final frag towards Athena, and honestly, this game should be a statement for G2.
It was, yeah. Again, F4Q not achieving nearly enough in the first half. Yes, we saw a couple of positives in the second half of that, but not an awful lot else to write home about, honestly. I mean, Bunny expected to see a few of those plays. We saw glimpses,
yep.
but no real success found on it. And actually, my biggest question is, what's the layer behind Bunny being, that aggressive, and what happens when he doesn't find value, when he's not gifted some of these openers?
Right, I was kind of then eyeing up someone like maybe 5k to find a little bit of a lurk or something to lean towards, but we didn't really get much of that. And I think a lot of the credit goes to G2, seemingly very well prepared throughout this.
Indeed, this last round, and you noted it as well, Mixwell's ability to just sit here and basically control F4Q, right? Dictate the pace of how this round is going to play out. Again, it's so beautiful to watch. And this man on your screen, Kellogg's.
There he is.
Fantastic opener here in Berlin. Do you know what? Again, I'll come out and say it. Some of the rounds we've seen him kind of pile on the pressure. A little unorthodox, right, in terms of how deep he's willing to go. But
the difference between the two that was exciting to me.
Yeah, and a bit of a dynamic shift, I guess, in terms of we look at facing off in terms of matchups, right? It's now not necessarily Kellogg's in terms of that duelist, that entry. It's actually Bunny and Nookie. So it's going to be interesting. See a little bit of Raze diff. I know Bunny talking about himself comfortably as the best Raze in the world.
Yeah, you got to back yourself. You kind of have to,
course.
right? It's like everyone's like, no, I'm the best Jet in the world. It's like, okay. We'll see. Look, I'm with you, all right? For now, though, we jump into this one and we have to look at the likes of F4Q and what you have to bring. Statistically, not the most flawless map for them, but they've had some close runs against Vision Strikers. They've pushed some very good teams, but this is not going to be easy and not comfortable, and G2 have been no slouches. So, F4Q on the attacking side to try and determine their way back in here.
See F4Q, again, at least initially, going to wait on a couple of these ability cooldowns. But, I mean, for me, with this composition, I'm looking towards Shower's control, and I'm looking towards ultimately finding value in terms of opening engagements, whether or not it's traded out. Because if they're going to lean towards A in a couple of these, particularly these buy rounds, they're going to struggle really to find any control. G2 just have to back away initially from that barrage of pressure and utility, and there's nothing really for F4Q to hold on to it unless they find kills. As we see here, Coldamenta actually now got his recon bolt back online, and actually Kellogg's 30 seconds left here. Kellogg's is going to
Timing.
find this information early with the owl drone as well,
30
Lauren.
seconds left.
Yeah, I guess the one bonus is that is currently the 2 players on site. There it is. Kellogg's
Ooh, he's got to be careful
Can he
now.
get away in time? He's going to make it in towards the smoke. Noted, though, in towards the cubby. Zunba is hunting this down. Spots him on the edge of the smoke. Looks to follow up, but it's Nookie to control the play coming up short. And that's the raise that we know from the EMEA. Nookie welcoming them to the picture. Esperanza tries to lean forward. Nothing coming through. A flawless round there, a Prime Gaming flawless round G2. And look, we were talking about the win, the little bit of a bonus that F4Q had there. They only had 2 players to play against on that site. The split was looking good. They'd drawn that rotation somehow.
And I got to say it, Kellogg's should have gone down
He should have been
very, very quickly. And again, it's the lack of boys. Bunny.
Nookie
Just getting up close
does
and
not
personal.
care.
Yeah, Nookie. Yeah, just doesn't even flinch. That's the thing. We keep an eye on this guy. He just doesn't care about anything at all. He's here to play. He's here to frag. And well, he's setting a statement here in the first round.
Dude, he's such a machine with how he plays as well. It's like, it's just, yeah, okay, I'll get these 2 frags, no problem. Yeah, I'll do it again, no worries. There's probably some players here towards lamps. All right, I'll just fall away from that. Kellogg's, can you help me out? Yeah. Barney's jumping again. Thanks, Kellogg's. Again, look at this. Look at his composure. With everything that's been happening, no player has fallen. It is perfect precision, and no threats were found. F4Q were right on the doorstep.
Right on the doorstep, and I mean, how are you supposed to plant in that scenario? There's literally no way you can. A second Prime Gaming flawless here in round 2, and it's exactly what I was talking about. Yes, that's kind of a throwaway round, but what's the plan there? Get up close and personal. You don't get the first blood. That kind of 10 to 15 second pause where, if you don't find a kill, you can't just run in and try and plant, right? They have to push a little deeper, and look where Nookie's backed up to here. Kellogg's playing outside. Showers, he's actually rotated all the way to backside of triple. You want lamps? Take it. No problems whatsoever, because they know they can't do anything with it.
Yeah, it's very well considered coming into this.
I think we're going to see Bunny run it down a couple more times, because now he's got to judge.
Show me what you got. We've been talked up, all right? I was all aboard the train.
Well, no
now.
secrets.
No subtlety, is it? It's not a big surprise. But on the other side, there'll be a little bit of damage potentially done. No, Kellogg's actually going to be able to navigate around any of that. Not receive point of damage thus far. Very well handled, but sadly, somehow, Zumba's been caught off. Avova finding him there on the aggress, and what a pace change. What a little bit of a different look coming out after a hyper-passive side to now very attentive, and Nookie is in their spawn. Hi, Pock. How's he gone to their bloomin' spawn? Bunny says hello, rips the gun away. That's going to be a treat and a half.
Okay.
5k. That's not bad. Getting down Mixwell. Now we've got a 3v3. Those rifles are still out and about. Kellogg's going to just filter through that one as well. Going to fall away if he can. But where is the spike going through towards? Okay, it's straight towards the spots Bunny's leg, but he knows Bunny's going to be flying on him. Where to there? Spots him, can't land it. Bunny outdoes him. And now the site's under control.
Mentor and Avova left to try and recover this one again.
Planted.
Heavily in favour in terms of the weaponry here for F4Q, but I mean, it's round 3, T2. Their objectives here, damage at least, even if this round doesn't go their way. Overtaking his time.
Okay,
No
baiting
real
for the
subtlety,
steps,
yeah,
maybe?
baiting that out.
See if that can be worked on.
Last player standing.
No, nothing to come from it. Very well handled by F4Q. And considering how that started with some very, I don't say like over-aggressive, I mean, you're on the bonus round, right? So you're trying to find those ways to maybe make the opponent uncomfortable, get that rifle on your side, maybe just close the gap with the Spectre, which they actually managed to do, but unable to convert beyond that.
Well, talking about a kind of shift in the dynamic from map 1 to map 2, you got to feel G2, especially in a round like that, where actually we didn't see them get particularly proactive in the early round of the previous map. Now they're like, okay, guys, let's really test the waters. We've dipped our toes, opened up with 2 flawless rounds. Let's see where we can go with this. So whether or not we see, you know, some of those historic G2 tendencies creep back into bind here at least, it's something to watch. Mixwell actually going to flash out to Vova, also
Double
to swing
face.
out onto sand. I think, again, this is trying to mitigate Bunny. This push to not allow, you know, that typical default where Raze can get full control in towards Hooker. Look at G2 being proactive.
Look how deep this is going. Now, I did see that Vision Strikers were actually really able to push F4Q on, you know, aggressive pieces, especially on like sort of split, their small little pocket plays, and this could be a lovely read. Mixwell has to respect the flash whether it was popped or not. No one close enough and actually didn't quite go through the smoke regardless, so unable to define whether or not people are just on the other side, but now well and truly aware, can fall away. But look at the utility he's cost them here.
Hey, look at the win. Look at the time. Aldrone then baited out. Again, a key piece of utility in terms of, you know, finding entry, particularly with Bunny as well. We know how that's the double up. Bunny will actually find a peak at least. But now the paint cells off. I mean, utility-wise, this is all playing to D2's favor. They're not even close to the site yet.
And they can call rotations if they fancy it. Maybe just pull the player across, maybe get one through. Bunny going to find a way in, but it's Avova still waiting down below, catches him and drags him down. No more free fun for you, but it's Esperanza with a perfect reply. There is still a player waiting on Mixwell, waiting the wings. Does 5K find him? Oh, it's going to be 5K indeed to find Mixwell. They are going through all the due diligence here, and a quick TP take. They've nipped on over towards A.
That's huge.
They are taking no risk with this, and rightly so, because Coldamenta was there. But where is Kellogg's? Coming back around 10 seconds now. Timing is everything.
Left.
Kellogg's could catch one here, but does he want to? No. He wants to spike. He wants to try and deny it. No, he can't do it. And there's Esperanza. Perfect positioning, and timing could not have been better.
Out of charges.
Had to make a split-second decision there. 5K.
Wow.
Will drop Coldamenta, and actually a great pivot. I was talking about how actually everything was playing into D2 favor there in terms of the utility trade-off, in terms of the clock being run down, but Esperanza finding Avova initially. I can't actually remember who the second kill was, but both of these kills here. Here's the first. The second as well with the adjustment. Look at that there. It's Nookie to fall on the back of a triple assist, and somehow, I mean, Mixwell stayed alive so long in Garden. He must have been spotted in the cross.
Two players like pushing at him. Yeah. Hey, it's reset the money. It's put it down to, you know.
Hey, keeping G2 honest in the early rounds, which was completely absent on ASCENT. So,
yeah. Well, I like the concepts that G2 are coming out with. I like a lot of the ideas, but Seek is coming through. It's a crunch. It's going to be a TP crunch off the back of Showers. There's the flash. They are so blind here, and Coldamenta and Mixwell on the punish. It's 5K. Let's try and hold on. He's got nothing left to fight with. Athena finally comes around, but look at the damage now done. And now the late TP bunnies come through.
No way.
Coldamenta out of nowhere. And now Athena is running for his life. It's a 1v2, and G2 had no right, absolutely no right. They've been in the lab, they've been working out these little set pieces, they've been finding those timings, everything they want. But now Athena gets spike planted. There it is, so maybe. Let's see what he does with this. He has room to push CT if he wants to, which is what I think he's going to do. He's trying to get ahead of expectation, and I really think it's a good idea. But they're close together. It's not a one and done. They should be within trading distance. He peeks the first. He gets the second! Athena! That's a Red Bull clutch and a half. Remember that one, because that could have been a different picture. That could have been a tilter straight in the bin mentally, but he saves his side.
We talk about that again, especially with a man advantage for G2 there. I think Athena's best bet is to go forward and find, an off angle, just play it unorthodox here. First onto Coldamenta, and you nailed it as well. The spacing almost looked perfect for G2 in terms of, remaining disciplined, not getting complacent there. Athena holds the line. We'll put F4Q ahead on point so far. Yes, one round, but like I said, keeping G2 honest. But again, we could talk about what was invested there for G2 and what they were able to achieve. Again, that's a big benefit for them.
It was a great round, all things considered. I love
your trail.
Seeing those sort of things, but now we do have the Seekers going through. No follow-up off the back of it, pulling out a couple of ults, but to what end? There's the first. That's big. Finding Nookie's not bad at all. A reply comes out, and this is just doing damage from afar. Avova is still watching that cross as best he can, but he's been noted, and he is now damaged. Looks like the rest did come through, but look at the side being taken here. F4Q mean business. That's 3 back-to-back and big kills at that. Mixwell trying to maybe find the timing on this. I don't know if he's going to try and lean through. No. Oh, he has actually. Tell a lie. He slept through, trying to play a little head still caught. 5K, what a round from him. And I said I wanted to see 5K. I want to see the 5K that I've been watching on, Reyna, on these lurks, on these mad pieces that definitely made a difference, but I hadn't seen in map 1. Maybe on Sky, we're getting a little bit more of it. I mean, a little unexpected, but I'll take it.
At least an appetizer in these early rounds. And I want to come back to something that I'd raised really of how easy it's going to be for F4Q to execute onto A site, right? In terms of typically what we see utilized there to get some control. Right there, it's a trade-off of, well, the Hunter Fury initially, and G2 are trying to play deep enough to kind of mitigate that risk at least early on. Avova gets spotted out. I think Esperanza actually finds was it Nuki, I think? He finds somebody initially with the ultimate and then gets the third tag. So spotting that player that they can close down, that's huge in terms of G2's ability to kind of sit back and say, yeah, burn all this U2 up, because we know there's no second layer to that. Other than kills, there's nothing really that's going to allow them to just take control here. So a great round from F4Q. Question being, how many times can they actually repeat that?
Hey, 4 on the trot. I just... wait and see. I think it's very hard after that first map to know what we have depth-wise. I don't know what these guys have in the tank. We've seen them, yes, regionally look quite good. I'd say, as said, the prince is to the throne, but there he goes. It's Nuki this time to try and maybe do a little bit of that bunny work here, but no one nearby, and you're left feeling a little silly.
Absolutely nothing on the back of that showstopper. Look how deep F4Q are. They're all the way back in cave
They're in
here.
spawn, mate.
Esperanza got to be careful though, because Nuki's hung around.
Yeah.
He will find it, but down to 40 HP. Picks it out of place there, I think. Actually, Esperanza maybe a reflex shot onto the floor, Lauren.
Maybe. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe just make sure the mouse is warmed up, because Kellox's is. Finding Bunny, that's a scalp to be claimed, but there's still bits of danger to this. There's the light armor. This isn't so easy in the room that was taken earlier just off the back of the ult. Plays in so well for Coldamenta. And F4Q are probably feeling a little weird about this one. It's starting to feel uncomfortable, but good work from, again, Esperanza just slowly taking the space, moving forward, and actually adjusting, but there's going to be a player moving up. Avova's going to take this back. He's definitely heard these steps. Call can be made, but does he pull the trigger? He waits. No, he doesn't, and bounding past. It's Esperanza again, but it is just this squad just walking on through, just plowing through the map.
Kellogg's did manage to get himself a Phantom, but he'll heal himself up already. Numbers heavily in favor of F4Q. They will even give him the opportunity to find a kill here on the way out. Do any further damage. Too many things to shoot at. The setup, it's perfect. Actually, 5K will catch a headshot. Don't expect to see him peeking once again, but Athena, you already see reposition. I think Kellogg's anticipating maybe.
He's trying, man.
But it's just, yeah. I mean, there should be 2 players noted at least now, and down to 8 HP. He's just trying to keep him here as long as possible. But F4Q remaining disciplined, and these are the sort of rounds that we talk about in the previous. Yes, we're won, and
they're getting fired up, man.
We're
Give it right back.
Hearing a little animation in the arena now, Lauren, which is, I mean, usually something we would say about G2, right?
No, I'm loving it. Absolutely, give it right on back. F4Q. Hey man, they've drawn the tack timeout from G2. That's fine by me. I mean, this is where you got to find an answer, because once we go into the buy rounds, once we go into the meat of things, not the the pistols or the the forces or any of that nonsense. When the full buys are out, F4Q have had this, and G2 have found these little kind of nooks and crannies to try and exploit. They've been trying to find these little pieces that could have built, but they've never quite accumulated to that round conversion.
No, I tend to agree with that, and talk about in terms of style and expectations. We're not used to seeing G2 kind of play this way, where it's we're going to give this up for free. That's not something you'd ever typically say about G2, where usually we'd see them get very proactive. The only round we really see them do that is obviously Avova's pushed through on the bonus, where they were still down on SMGs, and the showstopper from Nuki on short. There's 2 real circumstances that we've seen them at least explore that. So in terms of fact finders, I don't think they've actually gathered much other than figure out the Bunnies looking to take control of Hooker, which Kel Surprise in 2021, we've still got Razors looking for that on Bind. They've addressed it, but did they get any value in that round? No, actually, F4Q were able to flip that completely back on its head and come out on top on B.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? This is when you got to look at the coaches and see how much can G2 go to now. How do they find that information? Is it too late to be trying to go for fact finding when you're starting to have 5 rounds against you? As said, yeah, you've got 2 under your belt, but they are pistol rounds, so they feel as though they almost sit within their own little category there. But we go back in. Let's see what G2 has left in the tank. Now, I'm looking at their options, looking at what they can maybe achieve and what they've brought into this round. More than serviceable purchase, maybe lacking bits and pieces of utility, but mostly serviceable.
Yeah, I feel like actually F4Q just happier to sit deeper and deeper. I think this is in anticipation of exactly what we're talking about, right? They're thinking eventually one of these rounds, G2 are going to do what we expect them to do, which is go exploring, go walk in showers, go walking long, which is why we're seeing F4Q's default just become even more passive. Now, the concern, obviously, comes back to these late hits and what utility is really available to secure that plant, at least very late on. So Kellogg's and Avova here now walk out, and this is kind of offbeat in terms of the Riven here. They will catch contact. Bunny, though, will come out on top of it.
I've got your trail.
Oh, no.
Yeah, perfect investment on the timing of that as well. That's great work, Bunny. Not even going to mess around with it. It's 5K who swings towards Avova, but Nuki now is feeling a little alone, and yeah, put to bed, put down, put out of misery. Mixwell backside, unable to get anything building, and look at this work! Bunny is just walking through it. Coldamenta now considered. Bunny even turns for it, and they know what is up. There is no threats, no worries. F4Q are in the building. They are turning up.
That's so frustrating if you're G2 as well, because that's playing out so slow, and they're like, guys, what's going on? Yeah, nothing over here at B. Okay, we're going to walk A showers. Okay, cool. We'll lean a little further towards B because there's nothing given away. I come back to it again. Look how deep this default is from F4Q. There's nothing that G2 can do about this other than pushing forwards.
I mean, if you're going for late round hits, we maybe start talking about bringing ops out, bringing out different looks, trying to get there's answers, and I'm sure this is something Sean, I'm sure, will maybe tackle or try to tackle, is what do you do with this now? Because you're not finding any of that room. You're not finding even those aggressive pieces. Yeah, you take a bit of space, but they are sat so deep. You're taking such weird fights. And here we're going to see the pop flash from Mixwell, but bear in mind they are on pistols. Some upgraded, some not. Athena, I hated it. I appreciate it, but I hated it. And F4Q are just fine. They have taken over long. They are doing very well right now. And what an answer back for them after was an absolute rubbing on map 1. It was horrible to watch for them, I'm sure. They'll review it, pour over it. Nothing nice about it, but a real confidence builder back in here.
And look at this. I mean, F4Q just rolling as a unit, right? It's kind of just death-balling as opposed to Bunny being, you know, only really having an owl drone to find him entry to a side. Kellogg, let's see. I'll find a second for 5K.
One enemy remaining.
Too quick with the flash there of over. Sheriff find the first, nearly actually, with the pre-fire on the second as well. Luckily, Zumba in position for the trade, but made things interesting at least. But just coming back to that point, really, just look at F4Q's ability to stack up and just throw bodies towards the site. And now the problem is, this round deficit, every buy round that comes up, G2 know they haven't got one after that, right? So that's when they don't want to take risks, or at least the tendency changes, where at least they don't feel comfortable taking these risks. Speaking of taking risks, Lauren.
Ops out.
There's an operator in play.
Gotta get your op out for the lads. I mean, you gotta try something, right?
That is how the saying goes.
Absolutely how the saying goes. And ooh, Kellogg's, here we go. First contact made. Now they know it's on the deck, and it looks like they wanted to pick up the pace, maybe. And they, ooh, the punish from Zumba. What a great idea, and Bunny's just gonna take the room. They have no respect, and they do not care. They want this map as their own. Kellogg's is only good for one. Instantaneous trade for Zumba as they can start working towards the site. You can see the pressure now starting to mount. The divide gonna come through, and G2's vision, their assumptions are all they're gonna have left now.
Man advantage for F4Q as well. Look at this, going to flash through this wall. It's perfect there. Look at that response. Coldamenta actually finds 2 in response. Nuki finds 2 as well. G2 somehow flipped that back in their favor, Lauren. What a retake.
Look, I'd love to say that was the op. It wasn't. I mean,
maybe the knock-on
effect. Maybe the knock-on effect. Let's kind of talk about it, because they were just rabid after that. They saw that and they hunted it down. They pressured the site so quickly. This is the first time there's been maybe a chance for this to happen.
The fact that Coldamenta finds that second is crazy. But yeah, coming back to that again, you notice it's a Sage with the operator. Again, Kellogg's kind of playing a spot you'd expect a Jet to be in, right? There's no get out of jail free card, at least. Your only get out of jail free card is that wall, and it went down so late they were still able to identify exactly where it is and do so much damage to him. Bunny then finds first blood on short. At that point, it's just a matter of time, right? Where does Kellogg's go? Okay,
do they do it again? It is rinse and repeat, and Kellogg's is in picture. So much investment, but Bunny just quicker on the trigger, and it's all his. That shower control for Nuki is trying to work through on mid as well at the same time. There's the pop of the ult.
Oh. I love that. But he's trying to actually boost him out of danger.
An attempt was made.
Yes. 10 out of 10 for effort.
I love if he was safe completely. Just
he booped him into it, yeah.
See you later. Bait me again. Oh, perfection. However, we go back to looking at where that next layer is. The trade back in's actually impressive, and the aim for Athena just wasn't there that time. There's Nuki comfortable to claim it. And the first time we're really seeing G2 maintain an advantage at this point.
That's what I point something out. Avova now, to address Bunny, is playing with a judge inside lamps. So that's G2's adjustment there to try and at least, you know, I don't want to say stop the bleeding or at least quell Bunny. This time, actually, he's got the Vandal. But the showstopper, again, in this scenario, Avova's probably just going to run straight towards him if that does get popped. But
30 seconds.
30 seconds, Spike is making its way through cave in spawn right now.
Okay.
Like a Zumba.
It's just run to the back of site, fallen away, 18 seconds. Could just post this. Oh, it's a trade out in the end. Avova must be so quick with that, to be fair, to get it, but it is still just a one player left. And oh, Mixwell holds his nerve, and G2 get a couple back. This is maybe the answer they've needed. It's not perfect. It is not perfect by any means. It's not. But it's rounds for G2.
I want to take a look at the economy here, because actually, if this comes out as 7-5 for G2, that is nothing short of a miracle after we've watched this half play out. I mean, as comfortable as it's going to be, Bunny on the judge, that's effectively a full buy for F4Q in my book.
Yep.
Ultimates-wise, Athena still with the lockdown. I haven't actually seen that employed at all in any of these. But one thing we talked about, I guess, in terms of the play styles of both these teams, you know, leaning away from those set pieces, those sorts of ultimates become very reactionary, right? It's not necessarily we're going to pin everything on this lockdown clearing out. It's, yeah, potentially, you know, in a post plan, we might throw it down, might use it to at least clear some space a little deeper. I want to see it come online, though. That's the main thing. It's such a key component. Yes, even if it's uncharacteristic, I want to see it employed.
I'm with you. I'm in complete agreement. Now, timeout to close out first half. I mean, what a different look we've had here. And then this is so hard to pull context, right? Because then you look at results and go, well, what does this then mean after G2
Is ASCENT a terrible map for 4Q? Like,
even though statistically it wasn't terrible, it was perfectly fine. I think maybe even statistically on, you know, if you're just purely reading off the paper, it was up there with this at some point.
I put it in the same bucket as Bind, honestly. You look at the performances versus Damwon and obviously then Vision Strikers.
Absolutely.
Context-wise, not a million miles apart.
I'd say they had a couple of closer games, you know, a bit of a more competitive scoreline, but you know, to what extent? This is a big adjustment, and it isn't just that first rung of Bunny doing damage. We now got everyone kind of finding it. I like to see 5K joining in on that. We've had everyone, Esperanza, a couple of big rounds as well. But here we go. 7-4, and we're underway. Bunny, he's been punished a couple of times. A great trade for Athena, but it's the double down on aggression. Mixwell's not relenting and actually going to get caught for it. They are all stacked up, and Esperanza will absolutely welcome it with open arms. We're down to 2, Avova and Kellogg's. One ult there to be maybe worked on, but are these recoverable reses?
I don't think so. I mean, look at the ground that has to be covered. You can see Zumba actually catch Avova off here. It's Kellogg's left, Sheriff in hand, lockdown invested now. Fantastic, yeah, but only really just going to make it a little more difficult for Kellogg's to fight back in. Again, feasibly, yeah, this is a 1v3 and it's not going to change.
Let me tell you the story.
I'm listening.
Right, it was a 1v3. Kellogg's only had a Sheriff. Mad, right? But there was a chance. You can see he's got a couple of guns there. He's considering it. There he is. And when the round I'm talking about, obviously, he picked up a knock. It ain't this round. He can barely make it past the turret right now. Life is truly not a dream as it stands, and everything. It's all being thrown in. Kitchen sink's on the way in a moment's time. Absolutely not a hope in hell. And F4Q have done wonders here. What a recovery after map 1. I absolutely love this. Just the first half here in the second map.
Yeah, I mean, crazy for F4Q to come out and honestly look like a completely different team. This is night and day in terms of composure, in terms of, you know, we talk about the fundamentals coming into attack FPS. It just looks so good from F4Q. And G2, unfortunately, in a couple of these rounds, yes, I'm liking them kind of trying to fight fire with fire, you know, look for this early territory control, but time and time again, it's just not panning out. There's no kind of follow-up on that. There's no second layer to what they're trying to achieve. And even look at that last round. It's almost like desperation. It's like, guys, keep pushing. Like, trade that, please. Somebody trade it. And it's 3-4 seconds later after the initial kill. rounds lost at that point.
Night and day in my eyes as well. The aging composition, whatever it may be, it just looked like a different team coming through here. So I'm more than happy to see it. I'm just curious what Sean's got in store for us. As soon as he's ready, I'm sure we're going to find out. But yeah, I just, in my mind, I'm looking at the difference makers. Who was it? What created those moments between the two? And it's hard to categorize to an extent because it did feel like G2 finally got an answer, but it was so late in the day. And bear in mind, half of their score was with the pistol involved.
Let's come back to the composition for a second, because
Yes.
obviously on the previous map, we obviously did see Kellogg's doing his thing.
Kellogg's having a map.
Nuki actually being the one to step onto the stage, right?
True.
So here, there's a big shift in terms of the comfort zone for G2, right? And especially in terms of a tempo, not necessarily of the map, but the series overall. If you then have to completely dial that back in, and it becomes this completely different face-off between two different players.
Okay.
Kellogg's, I don't think, had an opportunity to have the same impact initially here in the first half that you did on map 1.
No, and I'm in complete agreement. I think we have to wait and now see on that second half coming up any second now. So I don't know where to go on this. Do we get that resurgence from G2? Do they wake up? Or the Korean boys keep getting loud? I don't know if you guys can hear it at home, but it was very quiet. It was a very one-sided sort of area in the last map. But now it's getting a little more
Weird,
even.
that, isn't it? Actually?
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, strange.
Weird. Who'd have thunk it?
Not me.
Yeah, thanks for that input. Real helpful you are. Right, we're going back into game. Enough of us. Let's get this second half underway. 8-4 is the current scoreline. It looks like there is a chance for a third map, which, if you are just tuning in, let me roll that around. Haven.
Yeah,
will be coming in.
That's interesting, but I do want to come back to the 8-4. Very different story here to 7-5. Obviously, how quickly G2 would be able to, I guess, respond back into this with a pistol and a conversion. 5K, gonna jump spot, gonna find a lot of information actually, and the spike a little deeper. Although I don't think Kellogg's was noted initially. Both actually jump spot. I'm not sure if Nuki's able. Has he been able to get there completely undetected? I think he has now. He's had to shoot, but 5K will find a Vova in response to that.
If we get some more spicy Sky players, you know my life is just filled with joy. So, looking forward to see if 5K can keep this up, because he's already had a sick start, but it's Kellogg's to just tame him down. That's now long going to be at least, I guess, removed from F4Q's vision, but we did hear the TP going through in the double stack towards Shower. Now might have some fun. They haven't actually crested the corner. There was so much potential, and they still punish as well. Great work towards Golementa. Kellogg's. There it is, caught in the end. So, as it stands, just Mixwell in a 1v3. Not quite made the raid boss with the frenzy. Spike is noted. And it looks like that clock is just now dwindling away from him. You can see already the push up through towards short. Spike garnered. Does have a flash to hand. There's one bonus. Can he find anyone? There's that flash. Fake flash, doesn't need to pop it. Bunny jump peeks. Spots him. Lovely. Good work for F4Q here, starting things off as they mean to go on. Keep in mind, 2 of G2's rounds here, up to this point, were from that pistol. So, a critical one going forward.
I mean, just coming back, yes, G2 round 1 and 2 to potentially get back into this. F4Q, if they take the pistol and round 2, it's double digits. And that's terrifying for G2 to build back into this. Have to see what the answer is here. I'm seeing a couple of investments on the side of G2, but no real main weapon. It's a Frenzy and a Shorty actually swapped out now. It's a Sheriff in the hands of Kellogg's, but see if they can get anything done at all. Everybody here stacked up towards Showers, other than Nuki on short. And 2 members of F4Q actually to greet them, so see here, going to try and play distance initially, but all the information gathered already. I think actually we'll do some damage, but we'll back away. And still with 3 bodies here, G2 walking into a comfortable stack here.
See the patience from either side. Nuki getting that concept, but he can't quite deal with what he wanted, but at least just deny the follow-up if there was one. Nice idea. Again, Nuki just holding this down. He's just like, I'm just going to stay here as long as I can and see if I can maybe keep them interested.
The thing is now with the Shorty being noted, it's like, yeah, okay, you can have lamps.
Yeah, leave him alone in there. Don't want that.
But 2 members for F4Q still dug into B site. 5K and Zumba.
Straight out.
Yeah.
Spike
They're going to get farmed on the way out of this one. 5K finds the first two. Atsi will get the reload on that one. Kellogg's going to walk the smoke. Atsi will find the first, but Zumba, the second layer to that defense, will close things out for F4Q. Now we come to G2's buy round. And, you know, looking at this, potentially, F4Q, if they can turn this, is 11. G2 back down on pennies. And then it becomes even more difficult to even dream up the possibility of a comeback here.
That reality seemingly slipping further and further away. And this is the one, G2. What you got in the tank for us? What you got on that back burner you've been saving up for maybe a moment like this? Because as it stands, F4Q have been showing you how it's done. Perfect beginning in the second half here. Double digits almost instantly achieved. A quick flash, but it finds no one. It gives not much away. Little doggo has a little bit of a go of it. There's the flash. Fina could get some pressure from this and is. Nuki going to take that space, but it's not without a trade. Quelled quickly by Bunny. Seekazoo come through. Mixwell has to handle them and has to fall off.
Colamenta given nothing on the side of this. Kellogg's actually going to work his way through showers here. Now Colamenta got to be careful. Has the Aldrone, has the recon bolt, so I'm hoping Zumba and Esperanza are noted here. Mixwell going to swing on the first, and look at that. Actually diligent enough to clear the second as well. G2 find a way onto A site initially. Kellogg's now still in position and unnoted. Does deal with the flank. 5K falls. Bunny, a leisured spray with the SMG there, but G2 will close things out. 3 survive as well, and in terms of, you know, building some momentum here, it's a good one to carry across. Now they don't have a Blade Storm to fall back on with this composition, but we look towards the Showstopper, we look towards the Hunter's Fury, you know, things that can open up around for G2. So have to keep an eye on that progress here. Look at this, Mixwell actually clears the first, and like I said, real diligent there to be swinging on the second as well, just making sure that there's no possibility for, it's just some cheekiness coming out on the side of F4Q.
Yeah, that double stack could have really held some danger to it, but as you said, cleared out diligently and allowed them further forward. 10-5 now. Mostly rifles out. Poor old Fina feeling the pinch. Money's tight.
I have the spike. Spike drop.
Judge for Nuki. And time to see what G2 look like on this attacking side. We got to kind of get the glimpse of personality that F4Q are bringing, but G2 on approach, I mean, this is quite to the, I guess, to the pointy end of the stick if you're looking at how much time they've got to work with against double digits. Struggling in some of these gun rounds. As it stands, quite patient on approach thus far, but it looks like a 3-2 split going towards A if it continues this way for the attacking side.
Seeker's invested. The distance real close just yet, and Kellogg's taking a lot of damage before even getting out of showers here. The wall's going to go up just behind the smoke here. Look, he actually comes all the way up on top of Athena, but he still comes out.
Flash. 5K's done so well here. Just buying time, trying to stay alive, trying to do something from this really uncomfortable position, still making it his own. High flash comes over, doesn't quite find what he wants. And Athena, careful of your back here, but through the TP they go. Hitting the retreat, but it's Kellogg still on an island, gets punished by 5K. And it's a 5v3 now. They're going to lean in towards the other side. They're going to try and get that spike down, nothing to deny it, and that late lurk around, or at least the long rotation around for Mixwell. Eventually going to join them up on maybe long here. They still have to weather the storm. 5 on the retake. Utility looking a little worn out here. Not much left for F4Q to play with, but Avova going to give them at least the first fight here. Flash goes towards CT. There's the swing! There was the lineup. You can see the damage on 5K. He's now the walking wounded, but Bunny striding towards the site here. Gets pinged out to now noted. They swarm the site. Avova isolates the player on the back lines called Amenta. He wants in, he gets in. That's 2 for him. And now it's just Sunba in the 1v2. Not going to happen. G2 power forward once again.
They weather the storm and turn a 3v5 back in their favor, Lauren. Fantastically played, and I mean, I've got to argue, Avova potentially good for more there, so fair play to him backing away from that and knowing how to play that round out. Again, just keeping F4Q guessing on the way back onto B site, and that's a big round for G2. Again, puts a little stop on the economy, gives them a little bit of a buffer, and now we look at it. Revive online. Nuki now 3 slices away from the showstopper. Hunter's Fury. And Avova does have his ultimate as well, so lots of tools available for G2 here.
Plenty in the toolbox. For now, long control being worked towards B.
You're actually going to get some further progress as well on his
Braver than
showstopper.
me. Oh,
Oh, somehow though, look at this. It's a 3-man
Look
walk
at
from
that.
F4Q.
It's not the first time they've dabbled with
No.
the slightly more aggressive, you know, sort of that double stack on short. They don't mind getting a little fruity, and I love that. They're trying to make the play forward, and now G2 may be feeling a little worse for wear, because look at their approach thus far. They've kind of reset a bit after that, and you can see they've not really gained much ground, so this could be a late hit against pistols, sheriffs, should I say, actually is a full-on, I think we call it a Shiko?
I think that's what it's commonly referred to now, yes.
Hell yeah. The Shiko is on the wrong site, however. We'll see. We'll see if Zumba can do much now. Nuki's been slowly
30
controlling
seconds
long
left.
for some time, and now the site is actually absent of players. The rotation's a while off.
Satchel out.
And 3 ult. Again, if things do start getting a little wonky here for G2, lots to fall back on. But, F4Q at least. 2 players forwards. Esperanza, the only one really with a rifle to come up, and I mean, it's difficult here. Look for damage, look for something to take away from it. And speaking of something to take away, Bunny will find Nuki with a fantastic headshot on the Sheriff.
Just giving out free haircuts. There is a rifle for Esperanza here. Should I be getting ever worried about this as a flash? Esperanza finds a Vova. What the hell is going on here? How has this just happened?
That is an absolute tragedy.
That's
live.
unforgivable.
I mean, I was talking about a 3v5 for G2. That was a 3v4 with 1 rifle and 2 sheriffs. Bear in mind, Nuki had a rifle. Now, I said hopefully things don't get wonky, but G2 have lots of tools to fall back on here. None of them pulled out by G2. That's an absolute fumble in my eyes, Lauren.
Yo, and credit to F4Q to play that like they have a chance. If you looked at that, like every day of the week, you run that every single time. You run that, let's say we run it 100 times. How many times do you think they get away with it? Not that many, but credit to them to play like that too.
Esperanza was like 20 seconds behind that rotation to get the weapon.
How? 11-6. We go back in. G2, that's when the comms feel a little more quiet. Everything's a little tense after you fumble that one, but let's see if they can pull it back together. For now, we look at what we have coming up against them. The quick flash comes in, and it's going to be a quick piece. G2 not going to be messing around this time. Going to leave Nuki to take that space. Having to respect that audio cue that just rings on out. Posts it. F4Q going to sit a little deeper this time.
So we'll get the plant. Well, shock darts invested, but I don't know what damage has gone on the other side of that. And actually, a little gap created here with the wall by Kellogg's. Not sure if that was a misplacement or just looking to funnel a second choke point here, but Nuki actually going to get noted with the judge at least, and a second Cosmic Divide comes up. It's absolute chaos here on the site. Avuva going to open things up. Nuki finds 2 further kills, 5k and a feed, a fall. Avuva will find his 3rd on the round. Zumba falls, and it's a prime gaming flawless here, Lauren. Fantastically controlled there in the post plant by G2. And actually one that previously to bounce back from that.
Big correction. Big correction. They need
Of
that.
what?
After, I mean, that last round. You're right, man. There we go.
Yeah.
The difference a round can make. We saw them unable to hold that post plant, be absolutely run over by a thrifty round, and then come back like that. It's like, I don't know if that's just them reminding themselves, like, no, we can do this. There we go, 11-7. We're back into it. Money's looking a little tight, though, on the other side for F4Q. They are struggling a little bit. We're going to have, 2 rifles come out. Frenzy. I mean, the Classic's the best gun in the game, so I shouldn't be worried. And a Judge as well. Truly a smorgasbord of everything most people dislike.
Unless you're Mitch Man. Mitch Man somewhere is the most excited he's been all week backstage. All we're missing is an Odin.
Truly.
Nuki again in position to at least keep Bunny in check. The Aldron going to come through, will reveal his position as well. So the weapon and the player noted here, and Bunny actually just goes full force, tries to find something. Now, all of this, Kellogg still maintaining shower control, so again, anticipating maybe pressure on both sides of the map. But actually, I mean, Zumba's played this slow. He's still all the way in lamps. The rotations come through. F4Q have read this perfectly.
Yeah, they're not out of position at all. Nuki might have...
I thought he hit him there.
I was about to throw my heads off the just side of the desk, but it's Esperanza still doing some work here. 3 players trying to swarm him, but...
You will not kill my ally.
You know. What? Okay, Avova did check on that just to make sure. I was worried if somehow he'd missed that. Flash comes in, finds nothing, wall still there. The 5K doesn't need the flash, doesn't need the birds. Just gets the headshot, and now a 2v4. This should not be losable. Double stack towards Lamps. It's going to be Mixwell's success on towards Esperanza. And then Rifle, the 5K did show some beauty on. Not quite probably going to have the chance he wanted. There it is, G2 on the build back now. 4 still alive, and we keep on going.
Well, let's take a little look at the economy as well, because F4Q is scrappy investment in the previous.
Yep.
We talked about that. The Judge, the Rifle, a Sheriff, Zumba playing on a Classic now. This is pretty much going to be everything. Yeah, I mean, there's only 600 left in the bank after this, so potential here for G2 to hit double digits and bring it within touching distance. It's only really on the back of, well, 2 initially going in favor of F4Q, but G2 resetting in round 17 and coming straight back and answering back actually completely negates that buy from F4Q.
Absolutely, and exactly what the doctor ordered for G2. They were looking a little flat here for a while, not quite finding that form, but this build back could be something. But can't ignore the fact that F4Q are on 11 rounds. Big information going to be garnered through that TP. Follow-up, just Nuki getting nervous that a Sky suddenly appeared, but it's all fine. And there's a flashback confirming someone might be a little closer than they'd like.
Again, though, similar thing, this has been a recurring theme. Kellogg's again controlling outside the shadow. Not sure if he was noted there, just to the timing of Zumba popping that one, but this time at least they've got somebody in position to greet him, and actually short, wide open for the time being. Esperanza Hunter's Fury, so I think that's why he's playing a little deeper here. Wants to back up and potentially deny that, but popped early in anticipation. And Zumba will find a kill.
How's he gotten away with that? And 5K as well. G2 thought they were safe, thought they'd... Oh, we've got the side, we've got the wall going up, but no, look who's just lurking around these corners. Kellogg's now eats that flash, completely blind. And 5K striding on through. Huge work from him, and F4Q make it up to 12. Third map is on the horizon.
Wow, what a turn. Again, the timing of the Hunter's Fury and actually Kellogg's pulling away from Showers, allowing Zumba to sit there. He's the one that can actually be the deciding factor there for F4Q. He can then capitalize on the pressure created by Esperanza's ultimate being used there and forcing G2 into a couple of tricky angles, right? And this is exactly what I'm talking about here. That's how he actually found that kill, mixed with the final bullet through, but then 5K comes through. Kellogg's the most blind I think we'll see anybody this weekend at least. The Prime Gaming Flawless will put F4Q on map point here. And on the brink of forcing a third, Lauren. Wouldn't be us without a third, would it?
I'm down.
Starting as we mean to go on.
Oh yeah, we had a one-sided map at the start. Give us the, you know.
So technically this is map 1, right? So just,
yeah. Just kind of put it that way.
First one didn't count.
Nah.
That's probably what F4Q said when they took a break in between.
Yeah. You see the coaches having a chat.
I love that. We actually seen Orzino just kind of like with his hands up, just being like,
boys.
Boys.
Boys. What's happening? Don't know why he's a bit Welsh. What's happening? Don't know where that's come from. But no, it's good to see the kind of coaching that is here. Incredible setups as well. They can see every POV.
I think Prius tweeted a picture earlier of exactly the tools they've got to work with. It's fantastic to see the support for that.
Incredible. 12-8, an incredible performance from F4Q after what was, it was just over and done with. G2 looked like the team that was terrifying people in maybe scrims. You know, the scrim bucks, take what you want from it. People were certainly taking notice, but we go back in at 12-8. Is it recovery? Or is it map 3? Bunny really would like to get out of there quickly. Zumba's like, where you going? Hang around. Need some friends over here. 2 on the other side, though. Playing a dangerous game, but he spotted 1, and it's actually 5K in the meantime to find Cold Mentor. But the trades come through effectively enough that it's kind of, I guess, negated that presence. But the problem is Athena's been caught, and this battle in Shower, all the kills have been kind of around it almost.
So that's all the way over in Cubby, actually, where Kellogg's and Nuki are now able to find their way in. Zumba now walking, going to catch this audio
He'll
cue
hear
as well,
that.
and he's going to hear both. So now, a decent idea at least. I'm not entirely sure what Bunny's still looking at, because everybody should be accounted for here on the side of F4Q.
Unless they're paranoid about one player, they heard 2 steps. Yeah, this could be a problem. Zumba's timing now. Gets it. That's great news for F4Q here, because G2 now, at least on even playing field. With the time, though, ticking in their side. Bunny can now adjust that attention and come back through. It's Kellogg's towards the site. 2 stacked towards long. Kellogg's does get the isolated fight on Bunny. No trade potential coming through. Esperanza gets punished by Mixwell, and there goes Zumba. G2, they're not dead yet. They are clinging on to life.
By a thread.
Yeah.
Again, I feel as if F4Q had a pretty good understanding of exactly what was going on there, but G2 able to convert, at least on the early successes Kellogg's and Nuki were able to find up on B long. Again, back in that scenario, 900 credits left in the tank for F4Q. G2 on the brink of double digits. Decent ultimate progression as well. Obviously, we see Avova one away, Nuki one away, Kellogg's one away, Mixwell has the Seekers up. Athena again with that lockdown, but we haven't seen F4Q lean towards a retake really, either side.
No, you're right. Early shower control has been worked towards. Seekers invested too, so not lightly worked around. Nothing to capitalize on. Aside from that, the Kellogg's has got super deep on this.
Oh, I love this.
This is very unorthodox, but quite nice to watch. The Flash did come in 3 players on the other side, and they're like, there's a bit of a problem with this. And that's going to be Nuki. Says hello to 1, says goodbye to the 2nd. And Zumba is there to quell that building threat, but Kellogg's was only a step away the entire time. With all this going down, G2 looking quite nice on this here. A little weird, but very good on it. Zumba striding in towards that smoke, though. Uh-oh! This could be problems now. Mixwell feeling that pressure line to build. There is that ult coming down from KJ as well. Athena's found Avova.
No way.
It's on Mixwell to try and save it. He's got 1. He knows Bunny's on the way, but what are you going to do against him?
In true Bunny fashion, charging him down with a judge in hand, the double blast back, going to close things out. Comfortable time on the defuse, and F4Q 13-9 G2 here on bind and force the 3rd map. What a statement, what a response actually after map 1. Really, really impressed with them. Again, we saw glimmers of what they were trying to achieve on map 1, but they just couldn't find success. Here, totally different story.
And you're right, it wasn't just Bunny as well. I want to look at 5K, that guy.
Esperanza
out of nowhere. So many times he's getting 2, 3K so solid throughout this. And to do this to G2, who are fired up, man. After map 1, you know they're feeling themselves. Like, just watching this back, the amount of times that we had Zumba just being in the most obnoxious place, the most bit of a nuisance Bunny. What a closer too. Like, watch this. Just...
That's when that streamer comes out, right? So yeah, I'm going to hit the clip in the final round, right? I'm not going to upgrade my weapon. There's 3 of them lying in lamps. Nah, it's all
Why
good.
would I?
Why?
Imagine just making content.
See Nuki back on the Sage here. Kellogg's back on the Jet. Now, instantly, I think we're going to see a different approach from G2. Are they going to be able to repeat that success straight away that they found on Ascent? Seemingly very easily, Lauren. And I'm looking towards mid once again. That's going to be a key component for Haven, as we know it always is.
But also Cold Mentor on the Sky. See how that synergy works instead of Mixwell. See if that looks about the same. We're going to see how this all kind of compares. This is a lot of moving parts to these agents, and we are live on into it. G2 on the attacking side, F4Q on the defensive side, and it has been a resurgence from the Korean side coming back into this, truly waking up here. And 5K, one of the proponents of that, one of the big reasons, but it's going to be this crunch in towards that C site already. So much attention being drawn, but look at the combination between 5K and Zumba, still holding it down for now. Mixwell blind, just spammed away at.
No way. Look at that, 5K actually finds the headshot as well onto Nuki, but Athena, good for the trade there, and F4Q will strike first. Lovely hold onto C site. And actually, initially, I don't know if flashes were crossed over there, but F4Q able to take a step back and ultimately negate a lot of that early pressure that came through from G2. And actually, on the flip side of that, G2 not able to even get deep enough on site, you know, for Kellogg's to find value, to even find any space for G2 to follow up on. So, great hold there from F4Q. Nothing, again, Kellogg's with the Sheriff, but nothing else invested, really, it seems. See, Bunny going to rise through on the Ghost as well. Now, that's interesting considering we've seen him actually purchase a Judge a couple of times. Whether or not we might actually see a lean towards an Operator, potentially.
more layers, more dynamics to Bunny. Always down for that, especially after the way he closed out that previous round. Again, I think that is going to be etched into my mind now. I mean, truly, you know, we have I guess the conversation of, you know, Korean Jet, right? That everyone kind of, you know, characterizes. Korean Rays? I mean,
I'm all ears.
I'm ready. I'm ready to listen to the pitch. Quick flash through. It looks like G2 are going for that A lean for now. Keep in mind they are working with less, so even though they do look like they've got towards the side and might have a bit of leg to them, it's still pretty tricky. keloqz is going to do well to at least find Esperanza, but any follow-up would be impressive and actually not bad. So Spike planted is another great benefit to this, and now suddenly you have to somewhat respect this. keloqz taking just that touch of damage to see if you can get a little bit of a glimpse of someone towards CT. Playing behind that little cubby of the wall that can be so deadly, but is cleared out on, and hello, suddenly there's problems. It's not going the way they planned. Mixwell, no. Not going to happen. But okay, so 2 kills and a spike plant. I mean,
yeah. We look for secondary objectives in this round in particular. So yes, G2, I guess, achieving what they needed to there. But again, it's just always a tricky conversation, especially with Bunny saving a ghost across. You need to look to find a bit more damage than that on the economy to really stop this early momentum being built up. Now, I mean, we'll take a look really if F4Q try anything funky to make the best of these SMGs. And would you look at that? Bunny with an operator. Round 3.
Funny that. Let's have a look. Let's see how this goes. Go on then. Let's see if Bunny take us on a little journey here. I mean, I guess normally they're like, oh yeah, your Jet's really good with it because you can just dash away. I'm like, have you seen his movement anyway? Man's playing Quake in, you know, this era. It's impressive. There's not many out here. Bunny hopping better than Frankie, but Zumba this time going to be the one to lean out, take the first bit of a glimpse, but actually finds a Vova on the other side. Now, Bunny going for the op in this round does slightly strike me with fear. There is a little bit of danger to this, and it's all up C-Long now. That one player waiting over towards the backside of A, of course, for that push out, but for now it's keloqz just trying to clear out. First man forward, has the flash by his side, just finds Athena just lingering around the site, but happy to take these fights. 5k on the other side of the smoke, and still that op is just going to be very tricky to bring into play now.
Yeah, always a burden on the retake here. Mixwell actually late in this lurk as well, probably not going to be considered by F4Q, you can see already. Bunny opting to try and hold on to this operator. It's a big investment here. Well, we'll find 5k. Now Esperanza going to slip out garage door. Try and hold into his weapon as well.
Look at
Mixwell on push back through. Yeah, Bunny's actually coming back through to find Mixwell.
There it is. Well, they now know it's around. And Esperanza might have to play bodyguard
The
on
upgrade,
this.
actually, for Esperanza.
Quite the good bodyguard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's at least going to be safe for now. I'm looking to see if anyone can get close enough to deny it.
Well, the problem is here, we want to look to G2 to hold on to 3 people as a bare minimum from this round. Again, keloqz 2 away from the Blade Storm. Potential to maybe try and get that online in the next round. And obviously, with this composition, there wasn't really a consideration in the previous map, but interesting to see
the
early
start
on.
Like that, just walk in the smoke in mid. First gun round, really,
Well,
if you know what I mean, like coming out. You've got
it's
the op in play and all that.
It's interesting because it's 3 people committed to A, right? The Killjoy adjusted slightly to kind of be that anchor towards C site, and then still being willing to walk out the garage door smoke. Yeah, it takes some balls. You see where Bunny's positioned this time. I think he's actually...
I heard a little...
He's boosted up, yeah.
There he is. And actually the walk down middle too. Athena, full faith in that window being watched and controlled and kept in hand. Otherwise, he's dead and buried and value lost. But Athena does slowly fall away from this, as Bunny begins to have that little bit of a look around the map. But G2 aren't in a hurry, keep in mind. G2 are playing quite patiently. They're still going through the motions. They're still hitting their goals. Look at Garage Control being worked with. You see Cold Mentor trying to work towards that. Vova, not too far off, but, you know, a little bit of utility comes in as an answer just to make sure they keep track of that. And look how they're playing on C as well. I mean, B, not necessarily open for the taking, but you can see that kind of deeper hold from Athena on the backside of Garage here. Long rotations if they have that mid lurk, and they do eventually take that A site.
Well, the problem being Bunny's still in position there with the operator, so G2 are looking to creep towards the site. You've got to be careful. I'd say the timing might be disastrous here for F4Q because they're going to pull away.
Oh, it is
It's going to be wide open for the taking.
I mean, maybe they're just posturing for retake at this point. They're saying, well,
30 seconds.
this is our best bet here.
You see there, the flash now, yeah, nobody's going to peek out to this. They'll give it up for free.
Yeah, there it is. They'd already fallen back so deep. Maybe just feeling
Interesting.
a little more.
Mixwell actually has the lockdown available here. So, again, this is something I identified. The tools are available, right? If this starts to go a little wonky for G2, I don't want to see them kind of fearful of investment here because... there we go. I'll stop what I'm talking about.
And here's that crossfire, a nasty one at that. Almost the kind of next evolution of it with that piece of the wall that just creates that nasty angle to work around from CT. And Bunny on the rifle now. The flash is good. Kellogg's great swing on it as well. Full faith. The follow-up not so ideal, but I do see a little bit of a hunt from Mixwell here. This is indeed huge. Does he manage to get the guns away? No, he doesn't in the end. Okay. So that could have been a bit of a game changer in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, again, everything working for G2 throughout that. And again, that's something that you consider how this series is played out. Just being willing to secure the round there, throw the lockdown. And if it's not going to be part of a set piece, which you know G2 lean away from, there aren't really these structured, choreographed hits towards site. So I'm fine with the ultimate uses there just to make absolutely sure that there's no surprises. Actually looking on the other side, I think Kellogg's now with the Blade Storm online, so an extra purchase effectively in hand here. But looking over on the side of F4Q, Sheriffs, and nothing really to ride in terms of a lesser purchase in this round. Again, you look towards Esperanza and Bunny in terms of their ultimates here. Again, it's 3 people towards A side. G2, let's see.
Here we go.
Pushing up this way.
Yeah, Kellogg's is on the way. There is going to be one player with that rifle. It's Athena, and he really couldn't get much out of it in the end. See Esperanza trying his hand at it, and once again goes quite poorly in that regard, and they've taken the side control 5k. Is there anything you can grab from it? No. Wall's already up. Your only other teammate, Zumba, setting up towards heaven. But none of it looks likely. This is clean, at least thus far for G2. Let's see if it stays that way.
Just trying to get it over off the plant initially by a little bit of time, but again, 2 Sheriffs to fight in. Don't expect G2 to really be throwing their bodies on the line to make sure they find these kills. Next one will actually swing on to Zumba. 5k, find anything else? And no, Coldamenta will make absolutely sure. G2 now building a little bit of a buffer here. I think actually, yes, there's an opportunity here for Kellogg's to get the operator on. And again, we don't often see him. He's usually the, throw a smoke up, dash into it. He's not typically known for using the operator on attack, but at least here, the opportunity now arises with the Blade Storm, and a little bit of energy now back on the G2 side of the stage.
It did get a little somber over there, didn't it? It was starting to get
it looked real
dreary.
sad.
Yeah, they'd had a bad day. But picking themselves back up, getting loud again. Good to see that. Part of me does miss seeing Avova on that Omen specifically, though. I love what he can do on this map. I mean, anyone who watched G2 come to this point, especially through the kind of rebuilding phase, is just like, oh my word. Yep. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. But it is a side take. Kellogg's going to lead the way here. Setting down the utility in place, looking a little blinded, a little flashed up. But 5k going to just barrel on right back in. And look how isolated, how far forward he was with no other layer to that. He was on his own.
It's exactly the sort of thing we've talked about, but Esperanza now with it all to do. Hunter's Fury available, so I think potentially he will back off. Mixwell going to play very late on this lurk once again. Let's see if he can find any value this time around. Not going to be given any audio cues with F4Q getting all the way back into spawn. And Coldamenta will actually fall. Esperanza finds 1 before the hit even gets started.
Once again, G2 finding some real value here. Oh, lordy, things are getting a little... Bunny! No way! Bunny just backhanded him in the face. Look at this guy!
That's actually crazy. I mean, you talk about going for clips, that's literally textbook. Right now, Mixwell finds himself in a 1v4. Cosmic Divide in the way. Turret's up, and Zumba going to stamp it out. F4Q will tie things up. And for Survive, Hunter's Fury carried across. Bunny now one away from the showstopper. A good opportunity now for F4Q to just leave their impression here. Now, whether or not they can break the economy, I was wondering exactly how Esperanza managed to find that kill, but again, Bunny, no respect whatsoever with the double satchel through.
Get it. Give it to him. I mean, you don't often see players of this caliber being able to do that to anyone, really. I mean, yeah, sure, we'll look at the exceptions to the rule. Your 10s, your C-Neds, your here and there players who can kind of go, I guess, that next step up, right? That elevated level of play. You don't often see it, and it's fantastic to see him finding that room, showing that there is, they are mortal, that you can somehow do it. Maybe Immortal Minds instead. But for now, 3-3.
Interesting reference.
Yeah. Gotta do it. I already mentioned one, just go through it. No shrouded step
we
like
got
a bank on,
we got
you know
a
what I
list
mean?
coming down, yeah.
I'll do it all. Just, Have a gifted sub, what can I say? But look at this walk mid. What on earth has just happened?
Yeah, Hunter's Fury actually going to get popped on the back of this. Bunny actually finds one. Kellogg's will close the distance now, but look at this. Esperanza somehow slips away and still finds the kill on Mixwell.
Get out of it. Finding Mixwell like that, it looks like the teams are almost backwards the way they're playing right now. The spike's coming through CT. We've got Nookie holding the push back in from Zunba, who's still here after just losing Athena, but great peek on that. The speed in which he hits that. And now Cordamenta's been on 1 HP for longer than he can imagine. Not the best place to be living, especially when you're being shown out here, but it's great timing. He knew exactly that Evola would be pretty vulnerable. Kellogg's now around the flank. Cordamenta still on 1 HP, still able to do value. But what can Zumba do now? A 1v2. Oh, this is gorgeous work. He's let one play. Oh, the timing, Cordamenta. All he needs is 1 HP.
That's so well played by Kellogg's there as well. He doesn't go hunting. He comes through, just checks the spike, relays that information, goes towards spawn. At that point, I mean, Zumba has a massive, massive problem to deal with there. And actually, it creates a perfect crossfire. Like you said, Cordamenta comes up, 1 HP, no problem, because it's the perfect bait from Kellogg's.
But they also just walked mid on that. We've had some mad rounds.
Well, and again, talking about on ASCENT, really, F4Q's willingness to give it up for free, right? Leave an alarm bot there. What's the worst that's going to happen? And G2, time and time again, just, they come up, they deal with the alarm bot, they pivot away, they create their own space. Now, we've seen F4Q start to kind of toy with that on Haven, at least. Maybe that's a little bit of confidence coming back in from map 2, but again, I want to see them kind of dig a little deeper, right? They're scratching the surface. Where's the value beyond that?
Oh, if any value comes from this round, that'd be wonderful for F4Q, but you can imagine this will be a G2 round.
Scout destroyed.
There is light armor behind this. It's not completely without...
It's not a full Shiko.
No, it's not a full Shiko. It's... We did say 4 and up, so it is a Shiko in essence, but then also the light armor. Do we then... Where do we draw the line?
So for some teams, that's a full purchase. Actually, roll it back a couple of months. That's a G2 full buy.
That is a G2. We could call that a G2 instead. How about that? Got to come up with branding. It's very important. For now, not finding much with it. They've been looking for those opportunities. None really to lean on toward, but it stays, building towards this A piece. And there's Bunny. And there goes Bunny.
I was going to say, Bunny potentially able to get himself into a position where he can make use of the showstopper, but before that's even a possibility. Again, now spike will be planted comfortably.
Spike planted.
Kellogg's still looking to progress forwards and stop any chance of this retake coming through. Finds his 3rd on the round. The flash is perfect. He's going to keep charging. The 4th now. Kellogg's finding his feet here, and Zumba way away actually in G2 spawn here, just looking for an exit. I don't think he'll find one, unless the Rover's feeling generous.
And again, I will always give credit to just nice, clean anti-ecos, keeping everything ticking. No rifles lost, no silly fumbles, silly mistakes. Very well considered. There was danger in that, the G2 purchase.
They're Bunny.
Exactly.
Showstopper again. They're walking into the position where the one person that potentially can stop that push onto a site and potentially find a couple of kills on the back of it.
Yeah, it could have happened. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but nice work from Kellogg's there. Just taking steps through. And again, confidence builder for the young man.
And this is the thing, right? You
build
around him,
Cobra.
give him the support system, right? Get him kind of firing on all cylinders like he was on map 1.
Yep.
A lot of that was, individual prowess, but...
excuse me.
Okay, talking about
Bunny.
individual prowess.
But I just want to see what their spawn looks like. Just wants to have a look at it.
I've got your trail.
Oh, he's not able to get anything for this. Just fades away, doesn't even send it. And for now, Kelox knows exactly where he is. Can he survive in this? Look at the pressure. The Seekers are coming in. He's really being noted here, but no one to really punish. But look at the space on the site. That is kind of being controlled right now. We do have the ult coming through, but Kelox is getting aggressive, and Bunny even checked that. He doubled down to have a little look just to make sure, and rightly so. Oh, the shot is so good! Bunny just beheading two on the cross back through. That dink in the first time was just incredible, and he's changed this round. What an impressive bit of play. Not even the aggression pushing down, but it's still Nuki, and Nuki's been found. So one remains, and it's only Mixwell.
He was set up to potentially thread his way through onto A site on the back of this pressure, but with the spike being lost, has to come back, try and recover this. Recon Bolt will not note his position, but as F4Q have a fairly decent idea. And we'll commit to just holding onto the spike. Now 30 seconds left. See if he can find a kill here, at least make this doable for himself. So yes, Brands are actually tucked all the way up close, and there's a turret to actually spot out this close contact. He doesn't manage to escape away with it, actually. With 13 seconds now.
Yeah, I mean...
10 seconds left.
Esperanza easy now. Zumba can just kind of be close by. Mixwell. I can't start believing it. There it is. Zumba. Play towards heaven. Didn't give away the game early. Catches the round. So let's bunny that round. So initially, let's kind of talk through it. Initially, gets in the spawn with ult, finds nothing for it. Falls back away. They take Seaside for all he knows to an extent, right? And look at the way he plays out of this.
You know, it's interesting there. You see the Sky Flash popped, and I think with his ability to avoid that, not give away the information, actually, Kellogg's walks in. It's like a false sense of security, right? There's nobody there to actually double check the swing out from double doors, and it's tiny adjustments like that that make him so individually difficult to deal with. And I was crediting, you know, G2's ability to kind of mitigate Bunny, particularly on map 1.
Yeah.
This here, again, Bunny keeps hitting these rotations, man. Peeking something different every single round, doing something a little different. You can keep causing problems.
You are divided.
Comes the divide. Say free passage towards C, but you can see Kellogg's forced into a weird spot here. This is very uncomfortable, but he's still alive and breathing. And you're right, they have no idea. They can't hear the steps. Information so limited. Kellogg's trying to sell something good here, and even catching that flash is going to help it out. They still think there's more here, and it's going to be that lean towards A. Who's on A? It's still going to be Bunny, I believe. And that's going to be the big picture in my mind, is what can Bunny do? He's playing so patiently. 2 players in front, he's going to see 1. First player spotted, dink, headshot down, but there's the secondary swing of over. Great work with the supports here. Cavalry's arrived, and once again, it is going to be the likes of Zumba, who was great last round, held his nerve late. Flash comes in, but good work from Avova. There's the trade-outs. Kellogg's has made it across, finally! And what a way to make his entrance.
Perfect. Again, Avova just has to buy some time for the flash to come through from Cold Demented. It's perfectly timed. Actually, Athena going to be spotted as well here. Last player noted. Has his turret, but again, G2 just need to play distance on this. No real reason to even risk taking this 2v1 on site. Athena, again, all this time being eaten up. He has to clear out all these close angles now. Swing through from help. Kellogg's going to take first contact, but Athena absolutely drops him. Coldamenta creeping, he has to check that defuse now, and actually, Coldamenta a little ahead of the curve, and we'll give that on a silver platter to Athena.
Couple of these rounds. They're laughing, they're all having fun, they're getting... There's been a couple of these, you know, red ball clutches that have come on through that are just going to be eating away at G2. I mean, roll your mind back to the Thrifty that came through. That's already a tilt. Throw this in as well? I mean, in my mind, I was already thinking about the next round. I'm already like, no, that's fine. That's against you. That's against you. Your G2, you look up, you're like, what's on the...
Yeah, that's what you don't want to see.
Don't feel good.
I mean, I want to see it.
I really enjoy it, honestly. This is great for me. Yeah, this is funny.
Kellogg's now going to get the Blade Storm off the rip. Coldamenta going to retrieve the first orb, but looking like A might be the end goal, or at least split towards. I haven't seen G2 really pressure towards B, other than time they tried to split through. It was a very weird, kind of disjointed round, but this time around, Zumba in position, this time in A link. Now, it's a little bit of an adjustment because Bunny's playing much deeper in garage. I think without somebody playing close by, F4Q almost trying to bait G2 in here. And actually, look at that, Kellogg's goes through, but the right click misses.
Oh, frustrating, I'm sure, for him. Spike goes down. Can they still control this, though? There's going to be the KJ ult just ticking on down. 7 more seconds of spray to just clear the wall to try and give themselves some time to move. Bunny needs to make his exit for a couple of seconds. Get out of there, Athena. What a guy, what a teammate, and oh no, what a death. Bunny's still alive. Oh, he's gonna post it. Kellogg's just gets out, but only to be spotted by Zumba. It's still game on. Mixwell, Avovo, where you at? You're in the sights of Bunny, who's read you like a book, and now Mixwell called upon, the man of experience, and maybe, just maybe, the man of the hour finds 3.
Mixwell coming up huge for G2, the Red Bull clutch.
Last round
Again, when it looks like another round is going to slip through G2's fingers. What a flip. Absolutely crazy. Plays this perfectly. Manages to dodge that first flash, dips through, finds Zumba. The third player noted, and look at him, composed. Kellogg's up on his feet. Look at that.
He's on his feet. That's it again.
How it can change from round to round, right?
They needed that, though, the mental reset after having so many tilters against you. This is just absolutely wild mental warfare, and Mixwell is loving it, he's feeling it, and he's taking it to him. They've got rifles out. This wasn't just an eco. This is a real deal round, but Zumba's gone around the back of him. What is going on?
Okay, now going to try and find something else. We'll spot Nuki. You can see here already, though, Avova's managed to get himself all the way on. Kellogg's has wrapped 5k inside garage as well. C-site for the taking. Zumba and Esperanza left to try and recover this now, but Coldamenta should get a clean plant.
Quick action going to begin. Esperanza tries to get away, can't do it. Coldamenta grabs him by the heels. It's Zumba. And it's a 1v4. I mean, we've seen some strange things already happen. There's the flash and there's the spam. There's the headshot! Get out of it! All right, okay. G2 closed down 7-5. This is one of the maddest halves I've seen in a long time.
It's been so back and forth. Again, just the kind of power struggle between these two teams. And I gotta say, in some scenarios, F4Q just never docked in terms of the LAN environment, right? Talk about shakiness and maybe nerves and stuff. Getting that right from the get-go here, especially in the first series that they're playing. Yes, map 2 we can allow that with the composition, but seeing it be so prominent here on Haven, I really, really think that's the strongest building block that G2 have right now.
We go.
Okay. Jumping back into this now. Kellogg's is going to have a terrible surprise around that corner. Flash actually sets him into motion, does get out of there alive for a moment. That was a quick trade out on this.
So yeah, actually, Esperanza going to come back around, finds Coldamenta. Nuki will respond actually, but Avova unnoted for the time being now. Mixwell tries to re-aggress through. A couple of players of F4Q went down to very low HP, but Zumba finally comes through, shows his hand, and Bunny will respond. F4Q will strike first in the second half here. The pistol on again, 7-5. Ability to tie this one up right out of the gates. If they can convert this round 2. Just coming back to that, though, Lauren. Again, that's one of the things I always look for is if a team wants to kind of be in control of the defensive half, is particularly on Haven, right? It's all about being proactive. You know, fact finders without the Sova, that's going to revolve a lot around Coldamenta and Kellogg's to be that, you know, kind of proactive way to garner information. So, not necessarily in this one, but Kellogg's will walk. Avova as well heading through sewers. Again, F4Q happy to sit back. They're anticipating this. They're reading the situation perfectly. G2 going to try and find value off these lesser weapons.
Well, think about Bind. F4Q aren't, you know, too unhappy with patient play, with sitting as long as they need to deal with G2's maybe need for information or the fact that they want to push up and get a little aggressive. As for now, Flash really wasn't what you wanted. Avova does still find one cut. How did keloqz get that? Gets Athena? Okay, it's not quite over yet. Now let's look for the final two. Nuki and Mixwell, where are they? Okay, so hitting rotations towards A. Gonna hear sewer steps. That's gonna buy a little bit of time here. Mixwell able to deny this instantly, but also obviously showing he is here. Lovely combination from Nuki coming towards Bunny. And now 2v2 begins. This is still pretty dangerous, but problem on the site has been put out as now Nuki looking to just do the Batman. Drops on down, hopes for the best, gets nothing. It's Esperanza there. We are back all even.
Hey, damage done though. 3 will fall for F4Q, and G2, that's on the back of, I think, just 2 sheriffs invested. So
take those.
We do indeed. We have to, again, we look towards kind of Bunny, the ultimate progress, Esperanza as well, but certainly here not going to be a factor. As I say that, actually, Esperanza 2 away, which is sort of unheard of with the Hunter's Fury, at least very early on. G2 obviously come back through with rifles across the board. Athena, 5k, going to be the ones to try and open this round up, and Bunny once again on that judge. See if he can close the distance again. keloqz will open things up this time round though. Esperanza falls.
And keloqz has doubled down on this.
Oh, look at the damage done to 5k as well.
Turned it, yeah, he's turned that so well. There's going to be the deeper flash coming out from his buddy, but he's going to chase this down. And Bunny feeling a little hunted here.
Word.
Look at keloqz just unleashed. Giving away as Zumba's feeling just a little scared, a little alone, a little out of it. He's got players everywhere. So few angles to fall back to.
Just the SMG to get something done here. The Nano Swarm going to bring him down to 34 HP. The threat imminent there. Mixwell actually going to be the one to find it. And the Prime Gaming Flawless from G2 to stop any of this early progress from F4Q. And that's big as well. The full purchase coming through to G2, and they save all of these weapons. But again, I talked about this just as we came out of halftime. keloqz, again, on the back of the Sky utility being invested here to, I don't even want to say bail him out of this situation, but enable him. Really, really push him further forwards towards F4Q. And again, actually, I mean, even with Coldamenta being the one to plug that gap now on Sky, it's still looking just as clean for G2.
Quick flash over towards Long. This is to try and take some, a little bit of a land grab for Bunny to try and work forward with, but let's see if any of these moments can build. More of a Shiko than it was before. 3 lighter armors invested. And no over-aggressive play this time from G2. Don't want to play into the hands of the opponent. Give them that chance. So this could be a longer, more drawn-out round. See if any opportunities present. You can see 5k now posting himself up. Maybe happy with that. See if they can get the attention elsewhere.
Strands are looking for a little damage through. Again, anticipating this push forward from G2. Coldamenta actually caught off guard there. Will give away a weapon to the bottom of C-Long. It will be retrieved as well.
I'm looking at 5k here, because he's going to be quick up towards A-Long, because he was already posted up that way. So I wonder if they're going to feel that this is going to be... I wonder if they're going to throw a fake or what. He's got 2 flashes. Mixwell didn't see it. Now he knows, and there was a player on shore. Anyway, Nuki's just sat there like...
Okay.
30 seconds left.
You're
Hello.
good. And now the fullback. Again, I think G2's got the timing right on this. They're not going to be caught out with over-rotations.
Again, that Shock Dart going to clear out a lot of that Killjoy utility, so potential here for a hit and run on B site. keloqz actually caught off guard, but Avova, like you said, that flank comes through. 2 freebies for him.
Yeah, if the timing was different, if someone had considered it, maybe there was a chance they could have done some more. G2, though, getting back into this now, furthering that lead just a touch. But F4Q aren't far back from it, and again, that was just a couple of sheriffs, bit of light armor. They're going to be getting to the meat of things now.
So really, how much further G2 can push this. Lockdown available. Esperanza does have his Hunter's Fury online, though. We'll see G2 kind of lean heavily towards one side and maybe be a little proactive once again, knowing that they have that kind of second step, which would be, you know, the lockdown, securing at least an attempt at the retake or potentially even stopping a hit coming through elsewhere. So this time, actually, it's... Mixwell did actually just recall his utility. It was initially planted outside B, but... all retrieved, and there you go. Lockdown available for them. I think he's going to be left solo now. You can see Nuki placed the wall there. Alarm bot in sewers, so this is when we'd expect G2 to at least greet this execution.
Here it goes. Bunny gonna lead on in. There's with Divide. Great work from Bunny. Just gap closing. Avova had no idea someone could be that far up that fast. And again, this punishment is gonna start hurting here. Cordamenta has to respect part of this. Bunny still looking to try and further aggress as they're gonna have to fall off for now.
I've got your trail.
And Zumba actually catching Kellogg's, but interesting trade.
Yeah, it comes through, but we'll get wallbang, but F4Q had to reset towards long. The plant in the open here, lots for G2 to kind of overcome, at least, well, actually the Nano Swarm actually stopping the push from Cordamenta, but F4Q are peeking this. Nuki's found 4 kills somewhere along the way. 5K, last man standing, and planted for him. Finds the first. He's sticking it.
No, he's come off it. He just got it halfway, 8 HP. 5K has to play this perfectly. He's just going to dip back in. He's baited him out. Nuki, have you got enough time? I don't know if you do. It's down to the wire.
No way. That was ridiculous for Nuki. The ace to string that together and still finds the half defuse somewhere in the chaos of that round. And that was a deciding factor. There isn't a hope in hell if he doesn't get that first half defused.
Now, welcome to the Nuki that you sometimes get those glimpses of. The player that can terrify
Stone
you.
cold.
For real. I mean, the guy barely, like, makes a response to it. The teammates do. You'll have Avova giving it large for him. You'll have everyone else kind of popping off. But he is the patient one. He's the calm one, the collected one. He pulls off stuff like that. A monster. Truly. For now, though, let's have a little look, watch back. That was the first one that caught me off guard. The fact he got Zumba for free, and now they were facing him like this. I mean, what else you meant to do, I guess, but maybe sacrifice one?
That's so close as well.
Hey, look at his response.
Yeah. Everybody else is going nuts for him. I guess they're compensating. They'll make the noise even Neilzina in the background. Fantastic stuff from Nuki. And again, a bit of a tilter in terms of how that round played out for F4Q, because everything went their way. The plant was great. They're able to negate the lockdown. Yes, Zumba falls at backside, but again, you throw that one in the wind, to be honest with you, if they can get control in a comfortable post-plant position.
Absolutely.
Not entirely sure where the direction changed for F4Q, where it became this desperation. Are they going to push us? Are they on the spike?
Yeah.
Like, what exactly is going on here?
Yeah, it did seem like a little bit flustered in those moments. But again, keep in mind, people have been saying, G2 need to be at these events, or, every single time, oh, it's just a shame they're not here. I mean, every single time people expect greatness from G2. Looking at F4Q in comparison, I don't think people put that same sort of expectation on their shoulders, but they've proven here they are absolutely to be considered. Oh my god, Bunny, are you serious? That was like a horror! Look at him, just flies in! Just the beast in the sewer, just...
Again, without a jet, seeing somebody this effectively close the gap in the early round here. Kellogg's actually misses the first, but finds the second, at least with the Blade Storm. He's up in no man's land there.
Where is Bunny?
Finally shuts him down. Bunny's still alive and kicking. How is this still going in F4Q's favor?
I don't know. This is madness. The pace at which Bunny plays is just twice the speed of everyone else, and then everyone else kind of piles in from the backside, and G2 are baffled. From Mixed were the last two alive. How has it happened?
Now, this is on the back. I'm pretty sure Bunny with a Judge, and there was one other rifle purchased and a Spectre.
Okay, can G2 recover? Big question. I'm not feeling it's likely. Bunny doesn't even have any armor left. He's just been torn apart. There it is. 5K to close it down. They're back in it. F4Q needed that. Desperately needed a bit of that Bunny magic to be pulled out the hat, out of the sleeve, wherever you get them from these days. I mean, at this point, they needed something. They needed it. 5K previously had been that kind of second string, that second line, but look at this. That's what you're on through. This is Esperanza, who's kind of a little spaced behind Bunny. Bunny takes, the crazy fights that aren't necessarily always safe. You're operating behind, I guess, dangerous territory or contested territory. He might get you the entry, but there's still potentially players everywhere. Esperanza's doing great at being that almost second string in.
Absolutely. I mean, Bunny even accredited him as the carry, right? The rock of this team.
Yep.
Kellogg's again in the early round looking to explore mid. Forced away by the flash of 5K at least. And they're happy to sit now. G2 try and force their way through this once again. The turret ringing off. Nobody pushed down just yet. And F4Q unfazed initially.
Throw a good few on the trot though for G2. Well, took a little bit of the bunnyism to come out, but I guess it has tamed the money. This is going to be what it should be, 9 to 10, and then we'll see.
I mean, let's G2 pull out an F4Q eco.
Bloody hell, they might. Truly, at this point, we've got light armor, some heavy actually. It's not like they've come into this by any means in a weak manner. keloqz is facing this with the turret, and you can see as to why Athena's going to be found because of that. And then the further regress, he's actually pushing down towards this one. That's a problem, though. Has to do some damage within that 1 or 2 second given. Now the Seeker's come out as well, invested. Gives away the game towards Long, and he knows his presence around towards short on Sewer. Mixwell does find 5k, and we can still game on. Mixwell, he's pushing it, and why not? He knows his damage on the walking wounded, the bleeding by the wayside. I thought he had it all the way through, but no, it's Bunny and Zumba just fighting on back. 10 seconds, where is the spike? It does not matter. Back to back turns of events now. We've had some ridiculous rounds, and it's not stopping now.
Please don't clip the, oh, I wonder if G2 will do the F4Q and flip this eco. And even there, keloqz finds the first. Gets a little overzealous, a little antsy to recover that weapon. I guess not reading that there was something behind that initial entry attempt. And now look at it. F4Q, 2 rifles, 2 sheriffs, no showstopper for the judge. Actually a better purchase than I was anticipating here, but this is G2 knocking on the door of map and series point here.
Yeah, but look who it is. And I think Aldamenta seems more than aware, sitting a little deeper than maybe he would normally. You have to start respecting the style the man brings and keeping it maybe in the back of your minds as keloqz wants to keep him at distance, keep him at arm's length. No need to get involved. He's got an AWP. He can sit here happily. Bunny now has to give away the game. He's kind of locked to this. keloqz can keep him. The man's got moves, all right? The man has moves, and I love to see it. Now, where did F4Q take this, though? They're looking for options, and they've actually managed to maintain all 5 alive. A little bit of utility to play with. Where do they now go?
I mean, they've achieved nothing. We're under 60 seconds now. Esperanza has to find something, but Avova has pushed all the way down C Long here, and I think noted one player, but F4Q again freeze. We're anticipating G2 to push forward a little bit. Spot one finds the headshot as well. Oof.
Looking a little stylish now. And here comes Bunny, trying to do something. 28 seconds in a dream. He's going to be shut down this time. Nuki's there. That's going to be 1, 2. The bouncer says, no, it's too late, boys. Go home. You're not coming in. And now Zumba, the last one standing. It looks like 12 will be on the board unless Zumba does something unthinkable. It's not going to happen. It's 12. Managed for G2 now. 1 away from their first win here.
And I don't think the economy is going to be looking too good for
that was a
F4Q.
stretch last time, wasn't it?
It was. The first one's so clean from keloqz. Again, Bunny had used his satchels early on, and at that point, again, he just has to sort of be used as bait. Throw him into the site.
Nice, boys. Come on.
See if anyone swings on it, gives him anything. keloqz left us asking questions. And F4Q doesn't look like attack timeout. Yeah, confirmation on that, but I think it has been cool because I can see the coaches talking at least.
Yeah, this looks a little weird. Unless it's a spec issue, we'll see. I mean, this is a little out of my expertise, but yeah. Hopefully we get confirmation.
You were well versed in this exact scenario.
Yeah, it's just weird that it's not grayed out and it's not the normal timeouts we see. Unless I'm just out of it, which I don't think I am. Well, there's spawn barriers on there, right?
I think they are, we just can't see.
We just can't see them. Okay. Fair. Fine. I mean, fine. Oh yeah, definitely is there. He's just like smearing his face against it. I mean, it's the last round. It's time. It's do or die time for F4Q, at least in their opening foray here. In the first glimpse we got to see in G2 needing to get across the line because there's danger on that other side. And I mean, they were looking towards the top of this group, trying to best those who hold the trophy, the crown. They're done with a clean game here, and you were right to question that economy, Hypoc. It's not looking good.
No, it's the one rifle in the hands of Zumba, who's been fantastic for F4Q today as well. There's a side story at least. This time, G2, I guess reading exactly that, right? They know that there's going to be a judge. It's a buy round for Bunny at least, but everything else, they're going to try and completely mitigate this risk early on. Athena. Where's the lockdown?
Okay.
Just outside B. Nuki going to throw a slow, try and back away here.
Your trail.
Seeker's popped as well to follow up on this, so F4Q looking to at least get a good grip on B site now. Only one player in mid, and Zumba actually goes hunting. That's the only rifle available for F4Q, and it's removed by Kellogg's.
It's all going a bit pear-shaped here. The flash going to catch as well, but he does make it away for free, but the clock is starting to tick. Now, does Bunny do something with this? One gun is far more favorable here, and it will be the judge. The big spot from Bunny in the big follow-up, but look at the reply. It's Nuki Coldamenta in combination. 5K's gone, and it's G2 doing exactly what was required of them, pulling it together to go over that final hurdle and dealing with all of those problems that are starting to build.
Fantastic performance here. In map 3, again, F4Q kind of pushing as hard as I honestly think they could. Again, Bunny having a fantastic performance, but I got to credit G2 for ultimately not letting map 2 get to them, right? They come back in with a fresh face, a little bit of a mix-up on the composition, and obviously Mixwell flexing onto that killjoy. Again, nothing flashy from him, just rock-solid defense. Again, always in the right position for them. Those lurks on attack. Kellogg's...
Reeled in.
Okay.
A little bit of bait.
Looked like he'd suffered some sort of injury there.
Okay. Prize catch. A prize catch.
I like
nice.
that.
Just every dude's Tinder profile, just holding the, the classic. I love that. Now, good work. Great work from the boys.
Yeah, it was. Again, seen a couple of the other players, but Nuki having a fantastic performance here on this decider as well, which I don't want to say is necessarily an underperformance, but definitely quieter from what we would usually expect of him as an individual. And this man right here, again, as a day one, it's great to see Kellogg's put up this performance and actually just dig a little deeper than I've already mentioned Mixwell, but Coldamenta